Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the Bledisloe Cup and also round 5 of the Rugby Championship. It's a bit weird. It's a Thursday night, not normally a day that we do see Rugby Championship action, but this game, like I mentioned, it is for the Bledisloe Cup. It is the first of 2 test matches we will see between the All Blacks and the Wallabies, but it is going to be taking place in Melbourne, Marvel Stadium, an exciting ground, normally to watch some cricket, but this time we are going to get to see it for the rugby side of things. Looking through at the starting lineups and reserves for both of these sides, we are still about 45 minutes away from kickoff, but we are starting nice and early. Looking through some stats to do with these fixtures that are coming up for the Rugby Championship, but looking through at the All Blacks. In fact, we will start with Australia. They are going to be as follows. James Slipper, number 1. Number 2, Dave Parecki moves his way into the starting lineup. That is rather than Falau Fainga'a, who will be coming off the bench. And then number 3, it is Alan Aratoa. Then looking through at the locks, they have made a little bit of a change here with Jed Holloway slotting in at number 4, and then number 5, it will be Matt Phillips. So the reason they have done that is because Rory Arnold, he is expecting the birth of his child, so that is why he is unavailable for this contest. Rob Leota at number 6, Pete Samu, number 7, and then number 8, it will be Rob Valentini. So a lot of strength for those individuals. Rob Leota plays for the Rebels, Valentini and Samu, both Brumbies boys, and they will be excited to go out there and get going at Marvel Stadium. We have got there, Reed says something about Barbie dolls as well, just like always, I guess, Ollie. And also my prediction, All Blacks 30, Aussie 25. What do you think, Hamish? I think this game, the All Blacks will be on fire. Hope no cards and hope don't make any mistakes, says Kevin. I think there's going to be some mistakes, unfortunately, but not as many as we have seen in the past, hopefully. And when does the game start? Says no, at this stage, it is going to be a 9:45 p.m. New Zealand time kickoff. But there's a chance that it could be slightly different depending on what they decide, because normally it's welcome to country. They have got that, the national anthems. We could be looking at anywhere between 9:45 and 10 p.m. as a kickoff time. Hey, Hamish, bro, how's Donna Auntie? And Uncle, I miss them lots, says Michelle. They're both good. They are going to be watching this game, and they will be looking forward to seeing who gets themselves the win. And also, nice suit and tie, says David. Yep, always we do wear the suit for the big matches. Speaking of big matches and suits, Kieran Reid has got himself a suit on as well. He's looking, well, I guess, a lot better dressed than myself. Hopefully, it's going to be a good game, says it was Bussy in there. And also, based on that poll, Wallabies will win, says David. Yeah, because they are in Australia, I think they've got the better opportunity of winning this one than the second. The second's at Eden Park. And I guess the question that I should probably answer that no one has asked yet, why is this game taking place on a Thursday? It is because of the AFL finals. Now, I would have thought they could probably find a gap on Saturday or Sunday or even Friday to be able to fit this game in. But a Thursday night game, I'm trying to remember the last game of the Rugby Championship we have seen that was midweek. And also a bit of a late one, isn't it? Says Neville saying, yeah, we'll be at an Australian kickoff of about that 9:45 mark. So, yeah, bit of a weird one, I guess, to say the least. But looking through at this back line, anything but weird, but a big return at number 10. But first of all, Jake Gordon, he will get the start at number 9, Bernard Foley. Now, there has been a clip going around on social media of him getting absolutely smashed by Ofa Toingafasi a few years ago in a Bledisloe Cup test, although this time, Ofa Toingafasi will not be playing. Lalakai Fakiti at number 12, replacing Hunter Paisami, then Len Ikatel on the outside at number 13. Certainly a dangerous option for the Wallabies. They need to make sure that they do get him in space early because he can set up those two on the outsides. Marika Koromberi going to be there at number 11. Tom Wright at number 14. And then Andrew Callaway moves into number 15. That is replacing Reece Hodge, who instead will be coming off the bench. It's kind of nice having rugby on a Thursday, says Novmum. Yeah, I think the only sport that has been doing it, or the only 2 sports, in fact, have been the NRL and the AFL. I believe they are the only 2 during the regular season that normally go with a Thursday night fixture. And then maybe the A-League, I think, might also normally slot them in. But yeah, Bunnings NBC, we normally only see the Friday fixture and onwards. And speaking of the Bunnings NBC, Ranfurly Shield Challenge coming up this weekend, Hawke's Bay versus Wellington. But speaking of the Kiwi side, here we go. These are the All Blacks that they have gone with in this contest, pretty similar to what we saw in the last match up against the Pumas. Ethan de Groot at number 1, Samasoni Takiaho at 2, and then Tyrell Lomax we're there at number 3. Brodie Retallick makes his big return into the starting lineup. He came off the bench up against Los Pumas, now finds himself back in that starting number 4 jersey. Sam Whitelock transitions back to 5, the place where I think a lot of people feel he belongs. Scott Barrett at number 6, the blindside flanker, who sometimes gets himself in a little bit of trouble up against the Wallabies, but don't all the Barretts from past records, other than Bowden. Bowden is the only Barrett to not get a red card up against the Wallabies, I believe, if I'm not wrong. He's had a couple of yellows, though, so maybe history could be made once again. Sam Cane at number 7, he had a terrific game up against the Boomers for the second test, has earned himself the spot in the starting lineup, and Hoskins Tutu, due to Artie Savia's absence, does get himself the starting position. And also, good evening, Hamish, watching from Melbourne, says Andy Watts. And there as well, what's the weather like at the moment, Andy? Do let me know. It doesn't look too bad at the moment at the ground. Looks like they've still got a lot of empty seats that they will be hoping to fill up before the end of the night. And also, howdy, mate, prepare for a big South Africa audience because Guru is offline again. Says Sharp Brand. And we actually did a video together, me and Guru, a little bit earlier on in the week. We did our predictions for the South African lineup. Got a lot closer than myself, I can say that much. And hello, says Pads of Blades. Welcome in, sup chat. Says Dr. Curry there. And also, I agree, Novmum says it was Novmum. Or sorry, that was not Novmum agreeing with herself. That was instead Nuzzy Williams agreeing with Novmum. I mean, the best mod return, says Pads of Blaze. And also, let's go, says Crazy NZ. And it's fine, supposed to rain all day, but we've had none, says Andy. So does that mean it's just waiting for the perfect time to downpour as soon as this kickoff starts? I hope that's not the case. If it was, then I guess I would say that would benefit the All Blacks again, because we saw them play very well in wet conditions up against the Pumas recently. But looking through at the back line for the All Blacks, Aaron Smith, Richie Mo'unga, the 19 combo, there were rumours that maybe Bowden Barrett was going to find himself in that starting lineup. Instead, Mo'unga does get to stay there at fly half. David Arvili and Rico Ioane unchanged in the midfield for the Kiwis. Then Caleb Clark, Will Jordan at number 14. Still, I'd love to see him at fullback one day, but it's not going to be happening in probably my lifetime, to be fair, the way that they've been going. And Geordie Barrett there at number 15. He is normally very strong under the high ball up against the Wallabies, and also throughout this Rugby Championship. Hasn't been going too bad, so he does get to start there. And who am I, though? Do you remember? Says Pads Ablaze in there. Who are you? As in, like, your actual name, Paddy? Or as in just who are you? As in, who are you? And Will Jordan against Marika Korombeti, that's worth watching, says Neville Singh. Yeah, there's certainly going to be some hard hits going between those two, and I think a majority of them are going to be coming from Marika Korombeti. But Will Jordan, he's elusive. He's hard to stop when he's out on the wing. I think Marika will be learning that very quickly in this contest. Looking through at the reserves now for both of these sides. A few changes on both sides' parts. There's going to be Falau Fainga'a at number 16. Like I mentioned, he did start the last couple matches up against the Springboks. Now he is going to be there at number 16. Scott Seo at number 17. And Ponefa Amasili there at number 18. The Rebels representative there at tight here. Rob Darcy Swain at number 19. Fraser McWright at 20. I would have loved to see him in the starting lineup. But unfortunately, does it come off the bench instead. Nick White at number 21. Instead of being in the starting lineup, Reece Hodge and Jordan Pataya, the last two for the Australians. New Zealand, they have gone with Dane Coles, George Bower, and Fletcher Nall, the same as the second test up against the Argentines. Akira Ioane at number 19. Dalton Papali'i at number 20. Finlay Christie, Bowden Barrett, few more Blues players making their way off the bench later on. And then Quintal Pyer there at number 23. Hamish, do you feel Kiwis are a tad overconfident? I haven't heard too many Kiwis saying we're going to win this game easily. In fact, maybe I'm not looking in the right place, but I haven't heard anyone say this is an easy win for the All Blacks. The Wallabies are going to come out firing because with a 2-match series, at the end of the day, if you go down in the first, if you're the Wallabies, Bledisloe Cup's gone. So you want to make sure you go out there, you put on an absolute clinic for the first week. Yes, a lot of people said that the big changes in that starting lineup for the Wallabies, it may have been a less confident lineup, but I think these guys are still well and truly going to be able to, if they need to, get the job done. It says we're 46 minutes away from kickoff, but how can that be if it was going to be a kickoff of 9:45? Someone's lying, and I think it is once again the Australian timing. Unfortunately, we've seen it throughout Super Rugby, though, that it does go a little bit wonky. Has the ABs ever played on a Thursday before? Not that I can think of. Maybe way in the past, I want to say. But midweek fixtures is normally only for the Māori All Blacks out of everyone. And also, Chua Hamish, when this game starts. So it was supposed to be 9:45. Now, by the looks of it, it is 9:55 that it is going to be taking place And that may even change as well, depending on how long the Welcome to Australia takes alongside the haka, the national anthems. We could be looking at a 10 p.m. kickoff here. And Bledisloe used to be 3 tests. Now it's only 2, says Sharkbrain. Exactly right. So all it takes is one win for the All Blacks, or even a draw here. Although a draw wouldn't help them much. They need a win. And if the All Blacks win, then the Bledisloe Cup is gone, which I feel like I really miss the 3-match format. We haven't even had a 2-match format yet. But it just pretty much throws everything into this first game of deciding whether or not there's any chance for the Wallabies. And Aussie gets the cup this year. Thanks, Foster, says Inked Up. And yeah, Hamish, and also Rugby on a Thursday. It is indeed. So for you guys in South Africa, it must be about 11:10 a.m., I believe. So it's a bit of a weird one. A lot of you guys probably still at work or at school, if you are a child, of course. Although if you are on the live stream now and you are a child, I hope you've been given free time at school. We didn't get too much of that at our school, but we still, George he did digital just to play games, I think. And that's correct. Says CP from, I think that's CP Carl Peterson from Cape Town, isn't it? New name there. Big Ponefa Amasili will put on a couple of big runs from deep, rugby league style hit kabooms, says Marco and Bledisloe. I know I read that one. And also, who was the clever person to schedule Bledisloe Cup Game 1 at an AFL Finals weekend? Yeah, I think someone needs sacked, don't they? But at the end of the day, at least it's happening, but it just doesn't feel right, does it? And we work from home, says CP. And I'm just having a look to see the AFL Finals and kind of all the information behind them, because I'm wondering if it's the grand final this week for the AFL, what are the chances that they could have just done the New Zealand leg of the Bledisloe first, and then, it's the prelims, and then the grand finals next weekend? That would have been perfect. They could have done the New Zealand leg here. And I also realized that they could have also done an earlier start on the Friday or a later start on the Saturday, and it would have been fine. My man, the Kiwi lad, says Bella. And there's, I hope you are doing very well, mate. At the moment, the head-to-heads, Australia have won 51 games up against the All Blacks compared to the All Blacks 138. And spot on, it's 11-12 now. Says Sharkbrain there currently. Carlton Nana having a bit of an interview there with Sonny Bill Williams on the sidelines. Now, a lot of people are backing the Kiwis to be able to win this one. They are at the moment on the TAB about $1.30 favourites compared to the Wallabies sitting about $3.70. So, some people might look at the underdog as a decent option here. Definitely if the All Blacks, at the moment, the way that their momentum has been going, it's been a good game, then a bad game, then a good game, then a bad game, then a good game, and then now we're here. So the question is it going to be a bad game this week, or will the All Blacks be able to really get it firing? And also, what URC games you're streaming this weekend? I'll just have a very quick look and see which ones are being shown on Spark Sport, because more than likely any games they are showing here in New Zealand, we are hopefully going to be able to do the live streams. Looking through quickly, though, at the table while I get this loaded up, the New Zealanders, they are sitting at the top of the bunch, sitting on 10 points. There is hardly anything, though, to split these four sides. South Africa in second. Australia, their points differential really took a hit in a couple of their early games with Argentina. And then Argentina, they are sitting in last. Seems harsh because they were top of the table one week. Then it does end up going downhill on them in the next. But they've still got their big game up against South Africa coming up later on. And I know the champs not playing this weekend, says CP, sorry. And also we have got, so Australia has netball this weekend, so rugby automatically gets second choice. Says Sharkbrain, do they have netball at the moment? I know that Jamaica are playing New Zealand at some stage for the netball. I think that's next week, so I'm not too sure about the netball that has taken place, but I know they've got the AFL and also the NRL. They have got those two going on. And come on, the ABs, get Fozzie fired. And where's George? Says Nazi Williams. He is currently at the pub. He does enjoy a Thursday night pub visit, so it's a bit unfortunate for him that this game has taken place at the same time as the pubbing session would be, but he may end up popping in later on the live stream, perhaps. And how's it going, Hamish? I hope all is good, my guy. And also the New Zealand and Australian flags. I'm doing very well. It's been a good day. It was sunny, which is a good start, and hopefully the Wallabies win. Put 50 on them. Let's go, says Aiden there. And if New Zealand win with a bonus point today, they win the championship, says Sharkbrain. Not necessarily. Because at the end of the day, if the South Africans win comfortably up against Argentina, or even if they don't win comfortably, and they still manage to win both of their games, New Zealand somehow lose at Eden Park, which at the moment has been looking more and more like it could be coming up soon. And also, we haven't seen much rotation from the ABs. It was good to try a possible 12 Tupaia, 13 Barrett, 11 Enor, 14 Reese, and Jordan get the chance at 15. As for Australia, we could see 12 Hodge and 13 Pataia in there for the second half. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they decide to do with Reese Hodge here, because they've got a strong bench. They had a few injuries in their last game, which I think is why they've gone back to the 5-3 here, because last week it just really was costing them. Every time they thought that they did have an opportunity of pretty much trying out that 6-2, every time injuries just crept in. And also, I've been working, or I would have been working when the game was on, but I hurt my back, so I got the day off tonight. Lucky, but not lucky because it hurts, says Senza. And so hopefully your back does recover. And also, hopefully you do enjoy the game and look after the back. Senza, Goshness back injuries aren't very nice, says Marco. Yeah, you never realise how much you use your back until you hurt it. And I know that sounds like such a weird statement, because, like, everyone would know that you'd use your back quite a bit. But until you start, like, even just getting up or something, and you just feel that little twinge, it's the worst thing that you can have when you're trying to get up and down. He's probably yawning at the pub as well, says Ian Curtis. Probably. Although once you give that man a chocolate sundae, he'll be a very happy boy. And come on, the Wallabies, get Rennie extension, says Bela there. So the games that are being shown on Spark Sport for this weekend, it is going to be Cardiff versus Munster. That is the only game on the Saturday that is taking place in New Zealand. Also, they have got Lions versus Bulls, Scarlets versus Ospreys, and Ulster versus Connacht. Those are the games that they are going to be showing here in New Zealand. So I will try my best to be able to do a majority of those ones. I heard that from Kiwi fans, New Zealand can't lose at Eden Park, says Shark Brain. I mean, some feel that confident, but anything can happen. It's a game of rugby. 80 minutes at the end of the day can split two sides. And if one side's not on the A game and the other side is, anything can happen. We've seen it in the past. You look at World Cup results in the past, way back in the day. I hate to use this example because I know we've got a lot of South African supporters, but South Africa and Japan. No one said that Japan could beat South Africa, and yet they did just that. No one said that Argentina could beat New Zealand in New Zealand. They did that island tour. Everyone said New Zealand were winning it easy. New Zealand did not have a chance after the Irish started getting that momentum going. And also, do you think the Wallabies will get the win tonight? I think today is their best bet, because if they win this one, then I think they'll come into Eden Park with a whole new mindset. At least they'll be fighting harder than they would have if they lost this first one, because the Bledisloe Cup, with it only being 2 matches, you've really got to make sure this is like make or break for this first 80. And also, to why don't they just put Savi and Whitelock as skip and Savi at 7? Kane actually good, says Dean. He played better in one of his games. Unfortunately, we have only seen one good performance from Sam Cane at this point. But Ardie Savio, I guess the reason they haven't tried him here at 7 or 8 is because he is awaiting the birth of his first child. So he is going to be back in New Zealand for this one. Do you think Luke Jacobson will get an opportunity? Not sure. I think he's been brought in for that Ardie Savia cover, but then Ardie Savia, I believe, will be back for the second test match. So I think he's only really a very short time in the All Blacks environment, and then he will be going back, join up with Waikato in the Bunnings EPC. I saw 9:55 somewhere else, says David Lim. Yeah, so I believe it is 9:55 p.m. kickoff. I just hope that they are correct with that time, and it's not going to be like 9:58, but normally it's 10:03 in Super Rugby when they do end up going off the regular time. So what happens to them? This man does his job if they consume it, because 29, like, come on, or they don't have hands. It's just the finger moving like he always brings us the best rugby, says Sonny in there as well. And also, come on, the All Blacks. I stayed up late to watch this, says the Kiwi Adventure Kid. And also 30 minutes ago, says Inked Up Man. Yeah, it is getting close, and I'm getting excited. Do let me know your predictions while we are 30 minutes out, ladies and gentlemen. That was a good take from Caleb Clark there. Currently, the All Blacks and Argentina. We did see them play recently. We also did get to see Australia versus South Africa. Now, the big question is, what South African side are we going to get to see, and what Argentine side will we see when they do end up going head-to-head when we do get round to their game? It is going to be on Sunday at 7:10 a.m. I've just realised that will actually overlap with Ulster versus Connacht, so I think I know which game out of those two that we will be doing, and also the build-up for that South Africa versus Argentina game, I believe we will be overlapping with Scarlets and Ospreys, and also Akira and Papali'i are coming off the bench. 2 loose forwards, says Neville. So I believe that what will more than likely happen, as long as Scott Barrett doesn't get injured, which, of course, fingers crossed that doesn't happen, I believe Scott Barrett will transition to lock, and then they will end up taking one of their locks off. That is if they do not want one of their locks out there, or both of their locks, I should say. So pretty much you've got that situation of Scott Barrett can transition, or we may get to see Akira at 6 and Papali'i at 7. Maybe they take Scott Barrett off early. And also we have got there, Hamish, don't you have an appointment with a dietitian? See, Sharkbrain, when was that taking place, Sharkbrain? Do let me know, because if I did, I'll probably have to have a look at that one, but not that I know of. And also we've got there, I'm a Kiwi in Brisbane, but I start work at 5 a.m, Tim, it says inked up. And also All Blacks coach will be biting his fingernails in this one, but I think Aussie get it. And also, why do you wear a suit, says the Kiwi Adventure Kid? That is a very good question. But pretty much anytime there's a big match, I do end up wearing the suit. It became a bit of a tradition, and you guys, anytime I don't wear the suit now, pretty much say, where is the suit? So I bring it back each time. So I pretty much am always wearing a suit. Now I just go out in the backyard. I don't actually go out in the backyard with the suit. And Satutu too skinny, needs another 10 kgs on him, says Marco Vonopola. I think the thing that was so impressive with Dalton Papali'i is his ability to be able to bulk up. He put it on extra weight throughout the off-season, but it wasn't really weight that was just wasted. It was weight and muscle and mass and suits up. And there, says David Lim. And there as well. Looking through at the URC, there are quite a few very exciting games that are going to be taking place. Benetton versus Glasgow will be the opener. That is going to be at 4:30 a.m. Cardiff versus Munster a little bit later on. And also we have got there like. And there, says Pila. And also, you were too young to remember Barney Stinson. The only Barney that I know really is either the dinosaur or the ones off the Flintstones. There you go. Those are the only 2 Barneys that I can think of. And also, thanks for telling me, longtime fan, says the Kiwi Adventure Kid. And there as well. But now, looking like we are about 30 minutes away from the kickoff. Like I mentioned, do let me know your predictions in the chat. Who you think will be able to get themselves the victory, and also who you think will be the try scorer in this game. The very first one, we may not see a huge amount of tries flowing for these 2 sides early on. I knew you would say Barney the Dinosaur. Hamish, I've got a golf tournament tomorrow at Walton Golf Club. Walton is halfway between Morrinsville and Matamata, so hopefully do go very nicely, mate. And a Barrett brother normally gets a red card during the Bledisloe. He does indeed. Bowden Barrett, he is going to be possibly maybe receiving one at some point here. And also we have got there, it was a Yankees joke, mate. Says Sharp Brain, yeah. Elton Yankees, unfortunately, going away for the Springbok squad at this stage. He has gone back to South Africa. He can't catch a break, can he, that man? He either gets himself in trouble or he plays badly. And never mind a guitar. I'll be on mum to say hi, says Andy. And also with the roof up. And that's Docklands and Melbourne, says David. And Takiaho getting the first try for the All Blacks. 25 points to 10 over the Wallabies, says David. And that's definitely Marvel Stadium. It is indeed. And it is going to be a very exciting contest in Melbourne. Not too often we get to see a game taking place in Melbourne that isn't at the regular stadiums. Marvel Stadium, I wanted to say the last time we had a rugby game here, I don't even know if it was Super Rugby, to be honest. The Melbourne Rebels always play at Amy Park. So Marvel Stadium may be a little bit of uncharted territory. And no more Elton Yankees, what a blessing. The Saffers will be celebrating. And also Marvel could spend the money buying naming rights to a stadium, actually hiring decent writer for its shows, says David Lim. And also the All Blacks win, says Jack. And it is good to see you back, Jack. Hope you are doing very well. Looking through at the starting lineups, ladies and gentlemen, for anyone who hasn't already caught them, the All Blacks, they have made a few changes. The Wallabies, they have done the same. Looking through at the starting lineup, James Slipper, Dave Pariki, and Alan Alatoa. So a lot of experience between Slipper and Alatoa there. Not so much for Pariki, but he does play well throughout Super Rugby Pacific. We'll be hoping to translate that to international level. Jed Holloway at number 4. He has been playing blindside flanker, but now gets his chance back in the locking duo. Normally is a little bit more accustomed to playing in the locks than he is in the loose forwards. Then Matt Phillip will be there at number 5. No Rory Arnold for this match due to his wife having their first child. Then looking through at the loose forward trio, Rob Leota there at number 6. The Rebels man with a big old mullet who loves playing any game of rugby. And this one in Melbourne will feel like a slight homecoming for the man, Rob Valentini at number 8. And Pete Samu slots in at number 7. It's an interesting choice to have Samu there because I would have thought Fraser McRae had done enough to earn his spot in the starting lineup, but he has been taken out and instead will be coming off the bench. I just realized I took that away after doing the fullback, but we didn't do the back line. So we'll look through at them right now. Jake Gordon at number 9, Bernard Foley at 10, Lalakai Feketi there at 12, Lena Cattell 13, Marika Korombeti has been very dangerous throughout this Rugby Championship, Tom Wright 14, and Andrew Callaway slots in at the fullback. Now looking through at the All Blacks for what they have done, but we will also read through all the chat. There is a lot of chat at the moment. We have got there from Roger Hauser Hamish. I'm either very uninformed or very blonde. But why are we playing this on a weird Thursday? Pretty much it is from the finals taking place in other Australian sports, whether that's NRL or AFL. I still feel like there could have been a gap that they could have actually slotted it in on the Saturday or the Sunday, to be fair. But they decided instead to play it on a Thursday night. I don't think many people will actually realise this game is on a Thursday night. And I'm surprised Amy Park wasn't used rather than Marvel, says Andy. I believe initially it was going to be that they were going to require it for the Melbourne Storm game at Amy Park, but they got knocked out of the NRL, so that actually ruined those plans for the Melbourne Storm. Not supposed to get knocked out as early as they did, but they are now out. We have got hi from Fiji Sevens. Welcome in, mate. I hope you are doing well. At least no Hooper. Yeah, that is a huge benefit for the All Blacks because we know how dangerous Michael Hooper can be and how much he has carried this Wallabies side on his back. He is always very passionate out there on the park, getting turnover after turnover, making plenty of tackles. That's why we need Pete Samu in this match to really step up for the Wallabies, or else Fraser McRae may find himself on the field just a little bit earlier than expected. NRL is why he's inked up, and also all we need is Sam Cane to have an affair with the nutritionist lady in the ABs. Who's their nutritionist? That's Kat Derry, isn't it? I feel like she's happily married at this point of time. And also that guy is a pain for the AB, says David. And also Yankees get him out, says CP. And hoping Wallabies win. Need to keep this Rugby Championship alive, says Hangarat. And Amy Park is only 30,000 capacity, says David. And also, how has your day been? And any plans for the Black Caps cricket, says Ollie. So we didn't get to do any of the ODIs for the Black Caps, but I believe they've got some more games coming up relatively soon, don't they? So we will hopefully be able to squeeze some of them in. I believe our next cricket live streams, though, are going to be Pakistan versus England for the T20s. And lots of big men in the Aussie back row. And Melbourne is a Kiwi town in Australia. This is like a home game for the ABC Shark Brain. And also AB's record in Melbourne is 50%. Yeah, at the moment, going to be interesting to see how they do handle this game, because Marvel Stadium, like I mentioned, we don't really see too many games of rugby being played here. And I suppose Union isn't the biggest draw in Oz, says Theft. But yeah, I always wonder why they couldn't go New Zealand first leg of the Bledisloe Cup and then go over to Australia for the second leg when there's less games of AFL and NRL going on. It would have made more sense, I would have thought, but maybe schedules or something like that, they couldn't reshuffle it for some reason. My voice is disappearing already. That's not good. I've done quite a bit of talking today outside of the live stream, which you probably will hear later on when my voice starts to fade. New Zealand should focus on the World Cup, says Floyd King. Although, I mean, the Bledisloe Cup would certainly be a useful one for a start. I'm very far behind in the chat. I see that everyone is talking very quickly. I do appreciate all of you being here. We have also got there Willem in there. We've got Cohen, Thomas Brown. And also we have got there, I'm a Storms fan and I'm gutted to see my Storm out. And I almost missed the game. Lucky I checked last night that the kickoff is today. Yeah, it's a weird day to have a game of rugby, but it's going to be very exciting. See who gets themselves the win. Awesome, says Inked Up. And also greetings from South Africa, says Real. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well. Hope you are enjoying almost your lunch. I believe it's going to be sitting around that time for you guys in South Africa. A kickoff of 11:55 at this stage seems to be when it's going to be. But looking through at the All Blacks starting lineup, before I forget, it will be Ethan DeGroot at number 1, Simasoni Takiaho at 2, and Tyrell Lomax at number 3. Now, those three have been doing absolutely brilliantly for the All Blacks in recent games, which is why they have kept themselves in that starting lineup. Probably not the normal faces a lot of All Black supporters are used to seeing. You're probably more than likely someone like a Carl Tuanokiafi, of course, currently in France, ending his opportunity for, I want to say he's at Montpellier currently for the top 14. Also, Simasoni Takiaho, a lot of people would have said before this Rugby Championship wasn't actually the first choice hooker, but now he is going to be one of those guys you can't really leave out of the starting lineup that well. He has been playing, and Tyrell Lomax rather than Nepo Lolala or Ofatuanga Fasi is going to be starting. And number 3, ABs only need to win one of the 2 games to retain the Bledisloe, which I think is why I dislike this format so much. 2 games is not enough to decide a series, even if, because I assume it was because they didn't want to have the All Blacks getting an extra game of rugby in, and same with the Wallabies before the Rugby Championship. Even if they played it 1 week after, or even a midweek game at some point, say it doesn't count towards the Rugby Championship, just to pretty much give us a decent Bledisloe of a 3-match series. Hi, Nathan, says David the Mod down. G'day, all. Hi, Hamish. Actually back in the in the day. Midweek games were, come on. Says David in 15 minutes ago, says inked up. And also we have got there, I thought AFL is like netball. No, not quite. I mean, the only similarities I can think of is probably that they use a ball. Other than that, I can't think of too many. Oh, actually, no, there's kind of a little bit of similarity, how you're only allowed to take a limited amount of steps / 1 step until you do have to, like, bounce the ball or pass the ball. Bodie, a bench player from now on, says Floyd Kingy. And also we have got there, someone said goodbye, Bledisloe Cup. Us Kiwis will miss you on the mainstream, says QQQ. And the fact that the All Blacks play half of the Cup in Eden Park is a cheat code, says Steph Barrett. And also a little bit earlier on, I did see, as a South African, I would really like to see New Zealand and Australia rocking up today, says Yandre. Hopefully I'll pronounce that correctly. And Hamish, what's your score prediction? I'm going 45 for New Zealand, 10 to Australia. They seem to be able to keep it close for the Bledisloe Australia, even though they've gone with a bit of a different side than a lot of people would have been expecting. I'm going to say, it's a tricky one. I'm going to go the All Blacks by 7. I think it's going to be close. And just confirming kickoff is 9:55. So more than likely, if it's anything like other games that we've seen in Australia, that will be about a 10:03 kickoff. That's because they don't seem to get their timings quite right. And Foster's killing our rugby history, says Inked Up. And also AFL is similar to Gaelic football rules. And Bodie's still great from the bench, says Floyd Kingy. And also Hamish and everyone's sounding and looking good, Hamish. Thank you for the live, says William. No worries at all, mate. It is great to have you here once again. Looking through at the rest of the All Blacks lineup, it will be Brodie Retallick and Sam Whitelock there as the locks. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do back in the starting lineup. Brodie Retallick, he was chomping at the bit to get out there in the last game, came off the bench, had a real impact, and now does want to do it once again. Scott Barrett gets a slot in at blindside flanker rather than Shannon Frizzell or Kiri Ioane, as Shannon Frizzell did not transition or did not fly over to Australia, I don't believe, due to a late injury. Sam Cane there, number 7, and Hoskins a 2-2 there at number 8. A big opportunity for him, as it is normally Adi Savia who gets himself that spot at number 8. Looking through at the backline, Aaron Smith, Richie Moonga going to be there at number 10. Then David Avili, Rico Ioane, Caleb Clark, Will Jordan at number 14, and Geordie Barrett at 15. Wasting Will at 14 once again, says Sebastian. Yeah, it's a shame. I feel like once he gets that opportunity at 15, I have a feeling it will be similar to Peter Feta, how they'll give him like 5 minutes at 15 so that he can't do enough to show that they were wrong, type thing. Because I think every man and his dog want to see Will Jordan at 15, as he plays very well throughout Super Rugby at 15. Even if worse comes to worse, they had to put Geordie Barrett out on that right wing just to see how it would go. Aussie, says Real down. The Wallabies have too much injuries to win this, and the All Blacks should win. If they don't, there's something definitely wrong with them, says QQQ. And that is exactly what everyone said in their first game up against Argentina and also the Irish series. They said if they lose, there's something wrong with them. But at the moment, there are unprecedented times for the All Blacks. There have been things going wrong. And that is why the Wallabies need to try and capitalise and try extremely hard to get themselves the win at the start of this one. Looking through at the Wallabies lineup, Bernard Foley making his way back into the side, of course. Coming off the bench, it will be Reece Hodge, who was in the starting lineup last week. Also, we have got there Nick White Moustache, says Nathan there. Hello from Japan. Welcome in. Hope you are doing very well. What is the time in Japan at the moment? Do let me know. Looking through at the bench for Laufanga, Scott Seo and Pone Fa'amasili will be there at 18. Darcy Swain and Fraser McWright, 2 other Wallabies forwards. They have gone with the 5-3 split here rather than going with the 6-2 like they did up against the Springboks. In Nick White, Reece Hodge, and Jordan Petaia as the last 3. Then looking through at New Zealand's, it will be Dane Coles once again at 16, George Bower and Fletcher Nil. They are stuck with the Crusaders combo as the two props coming on late in the game. Akira Ioane, Dalton Papali, Finley Christie, Bowden Barrett, and Quinton Pyer there as well. And who's favourite today, Hamish? It is the All Blacks. I believe they are $1.30 favourites compared to the $3.70 that the Wallabies are currently playing. The real waste is D-Mac. Man has so much talent, but he is behind four of the best fly-half/fullbacks in the world, says Steph Barrett. And I think that's another one where the All Blacks were really uncertain of where to put Damian McKenzie, whether he was their fullback, whether they wanted to try him at fly-half. For me, he's a fullback, but they do seem to try him at 10 every once in a while. And even in the Bunnings EBC for Waikato, he has been playing at fly-half, which makes it a little bit trickier to work out where he is going to be best suited. Similar to what we saw for Bowden Barrett a couple of years ago, how they weren't too sure what way it was going to be going. And also Takiaho and De Groot are devastating near the line, says Floyd Kingy. And also greetings from Muscat Oman, says Tom there. And also maybe Mitchell was worse, although he already did most of his coaching in pre-Super Rugby era. And will Australia be the only team not to beat the ABs in 2022, says Sharkbrain. That's a good point. We've seen a lot of teams victorious over the ABs as of late, although the end of the year tour, there's going to be one-off matches with the Northern Hemisphere. The All Blacks, they're going to be going head-to-head. I think the biggest match of all was probably up against England, and D-Mac had his opportunity at 10 for the All Blacks, and he didn't impress, says Stephen. And if this game goes like the championship has gone, the ABs should have a bad game, and the Australians will win, says Willem. And then, I guess, if it continues to go the way that the competition has gone, then the All Blacks should dominate theoretically at Eden Park, and then it's all up to South Africa and Argentina to decide who is able to win maybe the 2 from 2 in the NRL. Will the Sharks win the Rabbitohs for the prelims, says Nissan? It's a good question because both of the sides have had their moments recently. The Sharks were very unlucky in that game that went it did go to extra time, didn't it, up against the Cowboys. I think I'd have to say they've got just that little bit of an edge, but then I wouldn't be surprised if the Rabbitohs go out and absolutely go down swinging as well. Fozzie is the undertaker for the ABs, says Tom, and ABs need physicality in our forwards. And also we have got Sharkbrain, that guy loves you, says Obi. And there as well, and Kiwi lads tell Sharkbrain I love him, says QQQ. And also I'm a Kabuta fan, Japanese club. So glad to see Foley wear golden jersey again, go Wallabies. Yeah, Bernard Foley after quite a long layoff. Speaking of long layoffs, here's Matt Tamua, another option, maybe a little bit down the fly half line if they really do need those extra options. Currently, they have got Reece Hodge and Bernard Foley, though. Noah Lalicio, not too sure how long he is going to be missing. At the moment, Matt Tamua, he's saying that it's under the roof at Marvel Stadium, which means it could be a fast game of rugby between the two. And Val Holmes, a champion that dropkick, though, says Nazi Williams. And also we have got there 8 minutes ago, says Inkdale Crickerman, although there are rumours that it will be 10 minutes later than first anticipated. So it might be 9:55 that we do get to see the kickoff. And then alongside that, if they do still have the welcome to country, that will probably be around 10 p.m. that this game does get underway. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. Guys, all being here, like I mentioned, we have got the URC live streams coming up. We are also going to be doing the matchup taking place between the Pumas and the Springboks. That will be a 7:10 a.m. game on the Sunday. Should be exciting stuff. And we are going to be up nice and early, being able to watch the one end of the year tours are going to be exciting. Then we will really see where our Southern Hemisphere teams are compared to the North, says Willem. And while we are at it, we might as well look through at the fixtures that have been announced at this point in time for that Northern Hemisphere tour. And feels like for some early action to put some questions to rest, Amy, my man, says Golden Guest. Yeah, both of these sides, they've had a couple question marks throughout their seasons of the Rugby Championship. Australia, they had that record loss to Argentina. New Zealand, they had their record loss to Argentina. All I'm hearing is you don't really want to play Argentina because they're doing quite well at the moment. I'm not sure what that exercise is. There are some children practicing in the back, pulling each other by the legs. I'm not too sure how effective that is of a tactic. I mean, if anyone did that in the game, they'd probably get a card for it currently. And also, what time is the match on? It is going to be around 15 minutes away from kicking off. Will you do the Women's World Cup? We do want to do a majority of the Women's World Cup. We are hoping to fit in quite a few of those games throughout the schedule. I believe, if I'm just going to have a quick look, for the International Women's Rugby, there's actually Fiji versus Canada taking place relatively soon, and then New Zealand versus Japan. The good news is some of the games are or actually, I'm just going to have a quick look through. All of the games are actually Saturday and Sunday games for the Women's World Cup. That is very handy. I thought that they were going to have midweek games. And then good evening, Amish. Just got home, absolutely knackered. Now you can kick the feet up and now get to watch some pretty awesome rugby. Why is it not being kicked off at 9:55? The best way to describe it is just that Australia, for all of their games, whether it's international matches for the Wallabies or it is the Super Rugby games, they are always 10 minutes late. I have no idea why that is. I don't know whether it's because they want to get a little bit of extra. I don't know whether it's the advertising or the sponsors have said we want more time before the match. I don't know whether they want to do more analysis in their kind of studio. I'm not sure. But it's always 10 minutes later than it is actually initially scheduled to kick off, which is kind of weird. What happened? Those who asked for Foster's head, the victory against the Boomers brought calm waters. Oh, they still want Foster's resignation. Oh, now everyone loves Foster, says Sony. And also who's playing tonight? Amish says Spider-Meek. So it is going to be New Zealand versus Australia, but I'm sure that's not the question you were after. You want to know the lineups. I will show you exactly who is going to be out there. We will start with the Wallabies. They have gone with a relatively unchanged forward. Actually, no, that's a big lie. They've gone with a lot of changes in the forward pack. I was thinking of the All Blacks there for a second, but James Slipper, Pareki, and also Araratoa are going to be there as the front row. So the one change with Dave Pareki going into the starting lineup rather than Falau Whaingaa. Then Jed Holloway and Matt Phillip going to be there as the locks. Jed Holloway playing at number 6 last week. And then Rob Leota, Pete Samu, and Rob Valentini there as the loose forward trio. Jake Gordon gets a start at 9. Bernard Foley at 10. Lalakai Fekiti and Len Ikatel will be the midfield combination. Marika Korombeti, one of the informed wingers in World Rugby. Tom Wright out on the other wing. And Andrew Callaway gets his opportunity at number 15. If Wallabies lose, they go down to 9th in the world rankings. Where do the All Blacks go if they lose this game? Out of curiosity, Novmum, how far will they drop? Do they drop a couple positions or do we stay relatively the same? The Red Roses are totally on fire. They're favourites to take the Women's World Cup. Says Shark Brain, and it's a bloody tactic. Says Repent. In the opening game of the Rugby World Cup, you and your mate, should the All Blacks haka? Well, the All Blacks are to doing it in the opening game against France on your stream. Says QQQ. Oh, we've got a few things planned for the Men's World Cup. Of course, that is a wee way away. But the Women's World Cup, I'm just going to see whether or not, New Zealand actually get to play France, because they actually have the opening game up against Australia, which is going to be a tough one. Then they play Wales, also Scotland, and then that is actually all of their games that they will be playing until the quarterfinals and also Yo Score. And it hasn't quite started yet. It is still going to be another about 15 minutes away till we get to kick off. Why aren't they playing Saturday? Pretty much it does overlap with the NRL and AFL finals. So because of that and the game taking place in Australia, they decided that they would reshuffle it and put it on a Thursday for the first time in quite some time. I should mention as well, they will drop back down to 5th. And Argentina have enjoyed unprecedented success over the ABs this year. Hamish, exactly right. Over a majority of the teams, New Zealand, Australia. Could it be the Springboks as well? Probably not. But Argentina are a tough side to beat. The Wallabies found that out in that second match. So I think that first game between the Springboks and Argentina is going to be a good one. And we are going to be definitely covering that at 7:10 a.m. But we will be starting a couple hours early. You should go to the Women's Rugby World Cup game. And there, says William, I believe, I'm just going to have a quick look. I think a majority of them are happening in the North Island, if I'm not wrong. Just having a look through at the games. Surely not. Is every game happening at Eden Park? Oh, no, that one goes to Whangarei. That's all right. Yeah, I believe a majority of them are going to be taking place in the North Island. Just slightly unfortunate, as I do actually live in the South Island. And as your friend joining you for the rugby, he is not. I got a message before saying that he is going to be a bit late at the pub, so he will not be able to join me for this live stream. I blame Pat Cummins, says Sebastian. Yeah, I'm sure he was at fault for changing the date. It's always Pat Cummins' fault, as we have learnt from recent cricket test matches. Oh, they've got a bit of a hype package here. They're showing some big hits now. Like I mentioned, we saw a big hit on Bernard Foley from a couple years ago. And we're in the South Island, South Canterbury, if you know whereabouts it is. Sunday was a special day for our women's sevens, won the World Cup to the sevens Com Games and World Series League, says Master Mel. But tonight she's coming home, says Master Mel. And also Wallaby Power will bring our baby home. And also, why does the women's soccer look so weird compared to the ABs, says Shark Brain? I mean, I wouldn't say it looks weird. I guess it probably only looks weird because you're used to seeing the men's side do it, I guess is the best way of describing it. And it's just like they've got different actions. Of course, there are men's and women's huckers, but they're still relatively much of a muchness, really. It is just because you're probably that used to seeing like those Tana Umanga, Aaron Smith, Kieran Reid, all those big guys doing it, and also the correct pronunciation. I'm not sure if that is the correct one, Stephen. And Bledisloe, enough said, says Golden Guest, and I went for Australia, but I'm always wrong, says No Man's Land. And also, well, it's been gone for 20 years. It's not your baby, says Sebastian. Yeah, at this stage, it's a full-grown man. At this stage, or woman, depending on what part of the cup you're looking at. But now the fireworks have started inside of the stadium. I'm curious to know who thought that was a good idea. Inside of a stadium with a roof on, we'll let off a whole heap of fireworks so that we pretty much smoke out the players. Don't know what the thinking was behind that. And is this a cup match? It is part of the Rugby Championship, but it is also part of the Bledisloe Cup. So pretty much it's a 2-leg series. Whoever wins, a majority of them wins, I guess. If the All Blacks win this, they have secured the Bledisloe Cup. Even if Australia win at Eden Park for the next match, it's just a question of how much the Wallabies win it by, says Master Mal. And also Kiwis know how to deal with the Wallabies. They cull them, says Terry. And also we have got there, do we want to win by 15 or 1-5 or 10 to 20 plus? And also AB's by 18 tonight, I'm guessing, says Nissan. And the popcorn is finished, says Heath. Yeah, the time for talking for these two sides is almost over. Big slaps on the back from Falau Fakatava to his teammates. He would have loved to be out there on this match. Sam Cane, oh, that's a bit rough. He's just smiling at all the children. He didn't even high-five them. He only high-fived the one who he was actually going to be taken out onto the field. That was a bit rough from the skipper. He must be locked in, you'd have to assume. And also should be 3-gamer like other years. Exactly right. I think that it needs to be 3 matches to give both sides an even opportunity. I think the 2-match series actually really benefits the cup holders, the ABs, because at the end of the day, they win this game, they've got it back. Whereas if they had lost this game and then, if they had won this game in the past and then lost the next 2, they would definitely have lost the cup and also passed the popcorn, Heath. And it's hard to bowl the Aussies in their own backyards, not like the AB, says Buttermilk. And also it's been 20 and we've been robbed, so no more, but no more. And it's our baby. And I didn't know that. I thought it was an aggregate. So if the ABs win this, they secure the Bledisloe regardless of what happens at Eden Park. So pretty much, yeah, it is all based off wins rather than points differential. So it's pretty much if the All Blacks win this, the only way for Australia to get a good chance of being able to go on and win the Bledisloe is they do need to get themselves another win. Did I just make sense? I don't think I did. I got too excited. But pretty much, yeah, the All Blacks win this. They secure it. It could be a drawn series, but because they are the holders of the cup, it doesn't go anywhere. Please, All Blacks fans, no crying tonight when we win, says Master Mal. And Sam Cane, what a sad guy, says Floyd Kingy. And also, how many worms will give their lives in this match? Poor worms makes me cry, says Martin Smith. Although the good news is they've closed the roof so the birds can't get more of them. Because or else then the seagulls and all sorts would have been chomping them at the bit. They would have been swallowing them probably triple as quickly as the rugby players running on them. And also, no Sharp Brain, I love you, says QQQ. And also we have got there, we will win the People's Bledisloe Cup, the real cup. And there says Master Mel. And also, hey, says Reed, welcome in. And when is this next match after the match? So the next match that is taking place for the Rugby Championship, it is actually going to be taking place at 7:10 a.m. on Sunday morning for us here in New Zealand. We're going to be starting nice and early. We've got plenty of build-up planned for that contest. Why have they closed the roof, says Scroll? I think it is just because it's got a roof, so they thought they might as well use it. I don't know. I see plenty of birds, says Sebastian. Although if you see them starting to eat the worms, you should probably run, to be fair. Although insect eating has become a little bit more popular as of late, hasn't it? You can actually get salted crickets. Maybe you could try them rather than the popcorn, Heath. If you are keen, that's not fair. The seagulls are locked down. Poor seagulls make me cry. I can see where this is going, Martin. I feel like we got the continuous, that, what's the one with there was an old woman who swallowed a fly. So then she swallowed the spider to kill the fly. Then she swallowed a bird to kill the spider, then a cat to kill the bird and all sorts. You heard that one? That's an old school one. Apparently we have got the welcome to country from Tony Garvey. He's pretty fancy. He's got his name on his shirt. And also we have got the donation from Sweet-Ass. There's always a prediction with a donation for you, Sweet-Ass. We get a classic ABs, New Zealand 42 and Australia 18. And tonight we're going to beat New Zealand twice in 5 days, says Master Mal. And also, what player gets the first try? Question for everyone, says No Man's Land. I think that, he's due for one. Will Jordan score the first try? If it's not him, I actually think there's a decent chance that we'll see a Wallabies player getting the first try, and I'm going to go with Rob Valetini if that is the case, sorry. Also, why do they do welcome to country? Pretty much, I think it is similar to, well, I guess there's not really many that are similar to it. I feel like saying it's similar to something might be a little bit disrespectful from myself, but it's pretty much welcome to country. He's got the indigenous kind of patterns on the kit. I believe it's kind of like a welcome in to us. They do it for pretty much every international game for the Wallabies. I think they may even do it a little bit for the Super Rugby games as well. And also it's Aussie culture, says Heath. Yeah, exactly right. And also we have got there, says Heath. And also it will be the mighty and awesome All Blacks, says Geeta. And depends which team brings their A game, says Floyd King. Yeah, it's certainly going to be important, right? We have got now the Australian national anthem just about to be played, which means, ladies and gentlemen, we are only moments away from the Bledisloe Cup 2022 getting underway. Anyone who hasn't already, be sure to get your predictions into the chat, vote in that poll, and also hit that subscribe button. ABs for the win, says Creeper Reigns. It depends which team brings their A game. He's Floyd Kingy. But what I will quickly do is we are going to be showing you exactly who is in the starting lineups. We'll start with Australia, seeing as they are the home side in the starting lineup. It will be James Slipper, Dave Parecki, and Alan Alatoa as the front row. Then Jed Holloway at number 4, Matt Phillip slots in at number 5, Rob Leota at 6, Pete Samu at number 7, and Rob Valetini there at number 8. What I'm quickly going to do is I'm going to tell you exactly how the odds are sitting at the moment. And weirdly enough, that is the question that Spider Meek has got there. They are actually doing the minute silence for the Queen as well before we get into the Australian national anthem. But looking through at the back line, it is going to be Jake Gordon, Bernard Foley, and then it is Lalakai Fageti and Len Ikatel in the midfield. Marika Korombeti, Tom Wright, and Andrew Callaway is in there as well. Oh, hang on. They've actually thrown the curveball. They've actually gone with New Zealand's national anthem first for this one. And also $200 Aussie win. So the current way that it sits is it is $3.80 for Australia to be able to get themselves the victory. And then also alongside that, it is, one moment, $1.25 for New Zealand to get themselves the victory here. So a few interesting ones. All, I guess you could say. What we will quickly do is we will go like that and like that. There we go. And thank you very much. You are the greatest Kiwi I've seen online. Fair, unbiased, and an all-round good guy, says Master Mel. Appreciate that, mate. Usually appreciate it. And also we have got their welcome in done AFL and NRL finals too. And there says chalk up. So we are hoping to do a few of those other matches on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel for anyone who is interested in there. If the All Blacks get thumped, we'll be back to AB's grief porn again. I know, says Martin Smith. And also we have got there, I expect, an Aussie team for the first ever game. Can't wait for the Wallabies to hammer the All Blacks, says Matthew Dixon. And yes, Alan Toa. Go the Wallabies, says Cabbage Patch. And go All Blacks, says Durkee. So this is the Wallabies lineup. I don't think I listed the last three, which is Marika Korombeti, Tom Wright, and Andrew Callaway. Then looking through at the next positions, or the next team, it is the All Blacks. Ethan DeGroot, Samasoni Takiaho, and Tyrell Lomax there as the front row. Then Brodie Retallick returns into the starting lineup with Sam Whitelock there at number 5, Scott Barrett at 6 as blindside flanker, Sam Kane, the skipper, at number 7, and Hoskins Atutu. Big opportunity here. Slot in at number 8. Then it will be Aaron Smith and Richie Mo'unga, the 9-10 combo. David Havili and Rico Ioane will once again be the centre pairing. And then Caleb Clark, Will Jordan, and Geordie Barrett as the back three. Are you streaming Eels and Raiders game tomorrow? I am hoping to do it tomorrow, hopefully. As long as it doesn't overlap with anything, we should hopefully be able to get that game done. And dear Rugby gods, please, for the All Blacks, they lost 5 out of the 6 return tonight. And Wallabies have many problems. As soon as the Wallabies want to put pressure in the game, ABs will welcome them They have no chance. Cheers. Thought we were due for some water. Jason Arrow is going to be singing the Australian national anthem. And also it'll be good to see how Satutu does as Xavier's replacement. And David is obviously blocking people for chatting here, says Boring Guy. And yeah, I can't actually see who's getting blocked and who's not getting blocked, to be honest. So I have no idea what's going on. But looking through at the back three, Caleb Clark, Will Jordan, and Geordie Barrett, I think the game is going to be won in their back three. And also, alongside that, the Australian back three, because you're going to have Andrew Callaway, Tom Wright, and also in there, it will be Marika Koromberi. Him versus Will Jordan's going to be an absolutely awesome one. I nearly choked out a kid on the bus because he didn't give my phone back. His face went red. Maybe don't choke out kids again. Just an idea. And also, how incredible does the Aussie anthem sound? And like Hamish and Can't Stand Our Anthem, New Zealand is better. And also, stirring stuff gives you chills. It's so powerful. Makes a grown man. I assume that is going to be cry. And also, we have got there, I think that kid just messed up the anthem. It's young and free, not 1 and 3. Says David Lim, but now it will be the All Blacks performing the haka. And then we will be into the match for the Bledisloe. Like I mentioned, it was always going to be a slightly later kickoff than anticipated, mainly because it just always seems to happen. Maybe it's actually, I've had an idea. Is it so that all the smoke and stuff from the fireworks can clear? And also there are trolls in this chat, but they don't get blocked, says Ruan. And there. And also now I officially opened the game, says Spider-Mick, and the All Blacks don't have enough blue boys in this lineup, although they do have 4 coming off the bench for them. So it might be relatively decent of an impact. You have one, Joel, says David Levin also was literally swearing, but you didn't block him, says Ruan there. That's probably because my chat is set that I don't see all of the messages. I only see the ones that are being pretty much appropriate. And also the word cashed up bogan should appear in the Aussie national anthem. Don't know about that. Cashed up bogan. It's a bit of a fancy one. Oh, the Aussies walk forward up to halfway, showing that they ain't afraid of the challenge here for the Bledisloe Cup. But of course, it's one thing to walk forward up against the haka. We did see a very happy Pablo Matera, or Rico Ioane. I think he wanted to shout a few profanities at the Wallaby. What's happening here? A little bit of tension between the two sides. And also we have got there Scott Barrett first try says it was no man's land. And also we have got there trolling Afrikaans so you don't get blocked. And we're here, Hamish. We deal with the pricks when it's needed, says Sebastian. And also nobody hosts better than Australia. Now Australia marching forward. Rico Ioane, he did that one. Fired up, right? It is going to be French referee Monsieur Renel in charge of this one. Also Andrew Brace, Pierre Brousset, a couple French referees for this one, and also the Irish, and then the TMO is there. And also, I'm here now. Bloody behave. I'll come to your door. And I just want to say I love Australian women, says Obi, but Richie Mo'unga, he'll be excited to be in the starting lineup for this one. And like they're saying, with the fireworks going, bit of smoke around, no one thought that through. I don't understand who pretty much made that massive mistake of going, we're going to be able to let off these fireworks with no smoke whatsoever. It's not going to make all the players choke when they're trying to run around. And Howard's DMO says Connor Crowley. I didn't actually get to see it in time, but I think it is a South African TMO, if I'm not too wrong. Yeah. And also we have got there, and as long as my Wallaby boys out in 100, I'll be proud of them. So I don't want is so Pie's poor half effort. So get hiding. And there, but now it is going to be kicked off by Richie Mo'unga with the smoke well and truly in attendance. It's gone up into the smoke. Trying to line up. That one has gone straight through the hands of Jed Holloway, which once again seems like that point that we made earlier on about the smoke may be very relevant. But it is being taken into touch by Lenakatel. The All Blacks have got one on the line out around the 22-metre line. And also we have got there, they need to sack the guy who thought it was a good idea to set off fireworks under the roof. Exactly right. And this damn smoke, they're going to open the roof shortly. Now Samasoni Takiaho. What's happened here? He's put the ball down. He's gone back over to ask the question. And also, we have got there, no, you were not, says Sebastian. And there it's going to be thrown in, nicely taken by Sam Whitelock. The rolling maul starts for the All Blacks. Now, Samisoni Taukei'aho slowly getting shuffled further and further towards the touchline. It is going to be an advantage in favour of the All Blacks. Alatoa trying to get their hand on that one. They're trying to march it forward, but it's not really going anywhere at this point in time for New Zealand. Now, little chip and chase from David Havili. Waits for the bounce there. Richie Mo'unga complaining that he was dragged back, but it is going back for the initial penalty. And there. And also we have got there, in the chat, I know, whistle happy frog ref is there. And also we have got there, did that to himself, says Matthew Dixon, and now you're being timed out. And there says Sebastian, and also, is that you fish, says David there, and not these refs. Now the All Blacks, they have kicked this one for the corner. They've decided against going for the 3 points early on. Dave Rennie, the head coach of the Australians, he's already sweating at this point. It does look very hot and humid at the moment in Melbourne. Definitely under a roof. You'd really feel that heat start to build. It's going to be a nice little bit of a set play there. Sam Cane only a metre short of the line now for the All Blacks. Look like Taukei'aho consider taking it on. It's going to be another advantage against this time Dave Parecki for being offside. So Tutu goes off to Whitelock, considered stretching out for the line, but currently the All Blacks still find themselves only 3 metres out. Smith goes back to Ethan de Groot. He scored himself a try in the last contest. He's on his back this time, and they are going to be going back for another penalty. And also Sam Cane, greedy player. Why does he keep getting selected? He's a wink league, says Master Mail. Hope Aussie don't do the kamikaze, says Spider-Meek. And also we have got there, he nearly scored, man, said David Lim. Once again, Richie Mo'unga will be kicking this one for the touchline. They've decided that they might as well be aggressive in the early stages of this contest. Ian Foster, the head coach, got Joe Schmidt on his right, Jason Ryan on his left. He's been doing wonders for this four-pack of the ABs over the last little while. Retallick has been taken down, beautifully timed by the Wallabies to stop the momentum of that rolling maul. But it's with Samisoni Taukei'aho now starting to march forward a metre or two. It's starting to look very good. 3, 4 extra players joining the ruck. And now they've got another advantage that is over the line. And the All Blacks score. Who is it? It's going to be Taukei'aho, who does get the first try of the match. We are only moments into the contest, 3 minutes in. And I believe, is there someone going to be in trouble? I saw the referee going like this, so I'm not sure whether or not he was saying it was James Slipper who came in through the side, referencing the number 1 on his back. But the All Blacks, they committed about, I'd say, 10 men to that rolling maul to make sure that it went over. They have Will Jordan, David Havili, a few of the forwards doing a good job as well. Yeah, it did end up going down. You can see Slipper trying to stop it, but there was no stopping that one once it got moving. The All Blacks have scored first. Quintapai and Dane Cole's very fired up on the touchline. And we are going to add, tell you what, lucky I'm getting better at spelling Samisoni Taukei'aho because he's scoring enough tries for the ABs at the moment. But that is in the 3rd minute that he has been able to score it. The All Blacks now taking a 5-0 lead. Also, we have got there, and the chat from Ruan, or also we should call him Sharkbrain 3 at this point, I believe it is. And also we have got the Go Box, says Spider-Meg. And also we have got there very close to the line, though, and Samisoni is such good form right now, and Taukei'aho near the line, money in the bank. And guys, you are a bit early. Okay, please hold off your celebration until Hamish says it. Thank you, says Pads Ablaze. And there as well. Now it is going to be Richie Mo'unga from the touchline. Line up this kick. 4.5 minutes through this contest now. And he strikes it, and he's got it over as well. Just it skims the post. And it is going to be 5 minutes in now. 7-0 for the All Blacks. A dream start to the match for them in Melbourne. Samisoni Taukei'aho getting the first. Very happy with that one. They took down the rugby post at my school. And no way that was a try. He was out, says Bevan Jackson. As in Taukei'aho was, or one of the rolling maul guys. And also, I've hit in Sharkbrain once before. It's my honour to do it again, says Sebastian. And that's why it's going to be taken nicely by Sam Whitelock just outside of the 22 now. And Dave Parecki and Foketi make the tackle now. Aaron Smith goes back to Brodie Retallick. I see that the All Blacks are looking extremely aggressive in this game already. Now 5 back into the pocket. Richie Mo'unga went for the box kick. That smoke is still there. And Bernard Foley has knocked it on again. I think high balls are the key in this match because someone forgot to turn on the vents in the roof. Now it's the 2-2. Goes back to Richie Mo'unga. David Havili goes for the little chip and chase. Caleb Clark going to be jumping on it. It goes straight to him. Ball off. And it didn't quite work out. Goes forward out of the hands of David Havili. And they will be going back for the scrum. And also we have got there Takiaho all day long, says Floyd King in 7-0. Says Connor there. Well, Jordan, he went up for a Bernard Foley, tried to take it. He's actually taken it almost in the inner thighs, really. But little chip over the top from David Havili. The ball set up nicely for Caleb Clark. He just rushed the pass a little bit, but Havili should have been expecting that one. Artificial fog, says David. And the joys of an indoor stadium and waiting for the scrum. Big test, says Golden Guest there. And also we have got Lol Baz, says Obi as well. But 6.5 minutes through this contest currently. The group next, says Floyd Kingy. Looks like Alan Atoa just having a bit of a chat in the front row with Ethan de Groot here. I wonder whether or not that is like nice chatter or maybe trying to psych him out a little bit. Ball's gone in though. Looks like the Wallabies will be able to retain this one, although the All Blacks put in a good push and they win the penalty for the front row going up. Jake Gordon not too happy with that one. Tyrell Lomax with the absolutely huge shunt on the far side of the scrum. And also we have got there, we need more tries from our forwards, and Snoop Dogg's in the crowd, is he? What's he doing at a game in Melbourne? And this ref is a clown, says Master Mel. And now I want to start by the ABs. When we start quick, we are unstoppable. And Aussie sucks, says QQQ. And there as well. So Lomax, he just waited. Yep, James Slipper straight up. Lost his bind early, which unfortunately, even though that ball did go out the back for the Wallabies, he just completely lost it. I don't know what happened. I think he slipped out of it on that far side. Shoulder went out, and then he just ended up standing pretty much straight up. And also we have got there, will I reach 4 tries today, ABs, or more for Wallabies, says Sonny. And also we have got there, and it's all that smoke. No wonder they call it a high ball, says Cabbage Batch. No playing Halloween faces at each other. It's a Beth, says Floyd King. It looks like now Geordie Barrett going to be lining up this long kick. 13 from 18 so far throughout the regular season of the Rugby Championship. This one's going to be from about 43 metres out. To be fair, that's Richie Mo'unga distance. So he better get this one over. Because Richie Mo'unga, I would like to think, would be... Oh, he's missed it, Geordie Barrett. So that is going to be now an unsuccessful conversion attempt. He's not too happy. And yeah, I would have thought with the way that Richie's been striking them, well and truly would have been worth a crack for Richie. But now it is going to be a 22 dropout for the Australians, and Baldy Barrett, he almost is Baldy. He has gone with the buzz cut at the moment. And OMFG, and also we have got there in the chat, tried to jab it. And what stream are you watching, mate? Says David Lemon. Also get rid of Barrett. Poor, says Bevan. Yeah, the thing is with Geordie Barrett, he's there for his high ball ability and his long kicks. And at the moment, he's only successful 50% of the time for his kicks. So really, you could get away with having David Havili strike your long ones and getting Will Jordan into 15. But that is still early on. And also, what's your game clock, says David Lim. Currently, I am sitting at 9 minutes and 10 seconds through this game. It's going to be taken nicely by Bernard Foley. Cross to Andrew Callaway. He gets the kick away down towards the 22. Nicely taken by Geordie Barrett with Richie Mo'unga to his right. Looks like he's going to be back in his pace. He's been hard in the tackle by Dave Parecki. And Satutu, good support run. Now Rieko Ioane off to Caleb Clark. The Blues players linking up around the side. Rieko Ioane tries a pick and go. Moves up to 40 metres out now from the Wallabies line. Mo'unga goes back to De Groot. Carries heavily into the line with Matt Phillip in there. Looks like a little mistake on the ground from the All Blacks, and a counter ruck from Australia. Oh, another penalty has gone against Australia there. It's already 4 against them the first 10 minutes. Foster's position gets more secure with every try, says Dakuti there. And carrying the Hurricanes on his back for seasons on end will make anyone go balled out of stress. Poor Geordie, says Hush in a bun. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Now, the question is, you're about 40 metres out this time. Do you give the ball to Richie Mo'unga, or do you decide to go for the corner? It looks like Richie Mo'unga this time is going to be taking on the kick. I see Dave Parecki's already got a black eye. He must have got that during training, as I don't think he's been hit in the face as of yet, I'd like to think. But anything can happen in a game of rugby. Like they're saying, the Wallabies just haven't had the ball yet. And also French referee, 1,000 penalties, says Williams. So both sides will have to adjust to that style of knowing that any little thing that you do is going to get penalised. So something that Australia will have to make sure that they don't do is infringe around the side of the breakdown. That seems to be one that this referee is really pulling up extremely quickly. Morena Hamish from Peru says image there. I hope you are doing very well. Must be about midday for yourself, around lunchtime, is it? At the moment in Peru. But now Richie Mo'unga from about 45 metres out, similar distance to that last one for Mo'unga, and he struck it beautifully, straight down the middle, and he makes it 10-0. So if that doesn't answer the question of who should be taking those kicks from anywhere before the 50, I think that should have just done it. And Richie has his kicking boots on so far, and that kick is good. And try out our options before next year's World Cup. And Richie, I read the one, and the being biased towards Aussie, says Spider-Mac. You think he's not sharing the penalties round? Because the All Blacks, they haven't had one against them yet. The smoke is still there on the roof. Someone needs fired. Whoever decided to have a stadium fireworks show when the roof was closed was not, he didn't have his thinking pants on, or her thinking pants on. It could be either. One time, Retallick taking that one inside of the 22 here for the Kiwis. Aaron Smith back to Richie Mo'unga. And now does find the touchline with the 12 minutes as well, says Connor in there. And also may as well call the referee Mitchy McGraw because he's destroying the Wallabies, says Master Mel. And Geordie is there for his good looks, no, says Stephen. I mean, we do know that they do love a Barrett. So maybe it's just like one of those ones how it's like you sign my bro, you got to sign me as well. And then me other bros in the team anyway type thing. But Jake Gordon, he was lined up by Lomax, trying to recreate one of those moments like we saw with Bernard Foley and Offa Tu'ungafasi, all player down. Who's that? David Havili has stayed down here. They do have Quintupire off the bench, but I think Havili took a head knock. More than likely it's going to be an HIA. That he does require, I think Will Jordan's hands were down before getting on the ball. They're going to say it's a clean turnover though. Now, we have seen those given as penalties against a player before. So pretty much, Will Jordan may be a little bit lucky there, as if your hands do go down, normally you are called as not supporting your body weight. And also Havili down, not good. There he is, Will Jordan, hands down on the ground, drags back, and then does manage to get the turnover. But yeah, I would say that almost could have gone the way of the Australians. And also who's a fool who decided to close the roof for the fireworks went off. Yeah, David Havili. Oh, he's been cleaned up by Sam Cane. That man's lethal. He took out one of his teammates' knees the other week, didn't he? Sam Cane, he's knocked David Havili out pretty much cold. And now Quintupire's out there on the field. A friendly fire and shoulders need to cover gaps. And also we have got there in the chat, hi Bertie, and also possibly a chick decided to leave the roof closed, says Matthew. And as BKR got the stream up, I don't believe he's doing this game. I think he is instead doing Gallen's fight, from what I've heard. And does Geordie genuinely feel uncomfortable kicking penalties that aren't from 10 miles out? Well, that's the thing. He probably, in the warm-ups, he's probably striking them from 60 just to warm up the legs. Oh, Jed Holloway now has got a bit of an injury by the sounds of it for the Wallabies, but New Zealand have got this ball just out from the Wallabies 22. Oscar Satutu with a nice step gets around Bernard Foley. Also dragged down now by Rob Leota. Smith gets the ball out quickly. Sam Cane off to Richie Mo'unga. Brilliant step and offload to big Brodie Retallick, but he has dropped the ball. And now Jake Gordon has to kick it downfield. I believe that will be advantage over. And that one's going to go into touch anyway. So it will be the line out for the All Blacks. Also, medic. Havili down. And then also, Cane of taking out his own players. What a captain's knock. And Stoners in the crowd. They can use the fireworks smoke as cover there as well. And also, we did have a little bit earlier on. Is this a live game? It is, believe it or not. They are having a game on a Thursday. I know a lot of people would have been expecting this game on Saturday, but instead, it is a Thursday night fixture that we are covering on the channel. Yeah, currently the All Blacks, they have had all of the ball throughout the early stages. Aaron Smith threes it back to Caleb Clark, who now accelerates. Go on forward now. That was nice work on the ball. Brilliant work from Rob Leota. And he's got the clean turnover, but Jake Gordon just goes for the kick in behind, looking for maybe a 50-22. The ball's slowly curving. Geordie Barrett, that set up beautifully for him. Backs himself to go around Parecki. A lot of pressure on him now. But his brother Scott has been able to clean it up now. Back across to Taukei'aho, looking like they want to accelerate out of their own 22 or perhaps just make a couple extra meters. And also one of the reasons for them playing on a Thursday, pretty much, I believe the only real reason is the AFL and the NRL. They decided they didn't want it to clash, which is, I mean, they could have found a time on Saturday or Sunday, I think. Personally, if I was the judge of it, even if it's an afternoon Sunday game, like just to have it at some stage, I think it would have been more of a success than a Thursday night because hardly anyone knows that this game's actually on Thursday. And that makes sense. Thanks, mate. Says critical. And also TNF is awesome. NRL and NFL have long done it. Says it was a David Lynn, but it looks like Rob Leota. I hope he's all right because he just got a very crucial turnover. Currently 15 minutes through this game. I think Jed Holloway may have had a little bit of a knock as well a bit earlier on. And where there's a will, there's a way. Says Ray Mantis. And yeah, the first try being scored by Samisoni Taukei'aho. The big question is, will there be the second try? Also scored by Taukei'aho. The Kiwis may consider going for it more. And also we have got there, Manoa has said, F all your channel. Cheers, mate. Appreciate you being here, Manoa. Hopefully I said you, oh no, I don't actually care if I say your name correctly. We have got anyone got a link. The best bet to watch this game is if you are in Australia, you can set yourself a VPN. And then from there, you can go to 9Now. That is the best place to watch it if you are in Australia. If not, you have got a couple other options. He's gone, boss. Oh, I was excited to see what the next message was going to be. And greetings in there, any kangaroo in the chat. And where are those who asked Foster to leave? And where are those? I raised his hand. I said I wanted Foster to leave, says Sony. And so sold out game and plenty of people watching. Also deal with Stan. They play all the games home free to air, says Master Mel. And yes, no one now free. Just sign up. It takes 5 minutes and 50,000+, says Chalk Up. And as well, it's gone to the back. It's nicely taken by Pete Samu. Now off to Tom Wright. He's going through. Almost found the inside ball to Bernard Foley. But now 10 metres out from the line of the advantage goes the way of the Wallabies. We see a player down in the back. I think that is actually, I'm not actually sure who that is, who's down at the moment. Nice cutout pass. Nicely done. Corin Betty has been stripped by Geordie Barrett, who goes straight into touch with it. Most Melburnians, they have no interest in rugby union, and also not me. I want Foster to stay forever. He's given us our best chance to win. And with Foley take the 3, says David there. Oh, okay. It was Pete Samu. He was smacked in the tackle by Sam Cane. He's decided he's just going to get everyone, really. And also we've got the Hour of the Lambs, Daisy. And he's given they're doing all right. They're out in the backyard at the moment, probably sleeping more than likely. And this game has been pre-recorded for those wondering why they are not playing on the weekend, says Stephen. Don't know about that, but that would be kind of, I mean, it would be an interesting concept to do a live stream this weekend, doing a watch along of, I guess, the rematch. Maybe. Or not the rematch, but actually kind of like doing a watch along, analysing it a bit deeper. If that is something you guys want to see, do let me know. And this is better than the actual commentary TV on mute. Says gone there. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, big shot from Sam Cane to the midsection of Pete Samu. He looks like he's going to be continuing, though. And Bledisloe tapping, says Sebastian. And also us AFL States still prefer Wallabies over the Kangaroo, and Barrett thrown out over the sideline like a ragdoll, says Master Mel. Almost by himself there, Geordie Barrett. 3 out in front. Bernard Foley strikes it beautifully. And that is going to make the score 3 points to 10. And also, are you doing the Munster match on Saturday? I'll have a quick look to see whether or not it's on New Zealand TV, because that's one of the big deciding factors. And now kicked off, Marika Korombeti takes it nicely, looking to attack. Currently only 7 down. I'm getting the hiccups. That's the worst thing we can have at this point of the match. 18 minutes in. I'm going to drink some water quickly. Only very quickly, of course, because there's a Bledisloe Cup game going on. 18.5 minutes down. Kicked high from Bernard Foley. Looking to try and line that one up. Will Jordan tries to swat it back. Now Rob Bellatini down the wing. Kicks it through. Marika Korombeti's after it, but it is just going to roll into touch. Tell you what, that would have been a good foot race if that ball had stayed in. Sam Cane was told to hit people hard. Nobody specified it had to be an Aussie. Here's Hutch at a bang. And there. And also I put one comment up on Big and got banned. All I said was, this is boring. He timed me out. says Obi there. And also, have you thought of doing a Formula One racing? Love it, says Kevin Layla. I do want to do some racing in the future. Myself and Isaac will be a great combination for that because he knows a lot about the racing. I know hardly anything, but that might be quite a fun dynamic duo. So that is actually going to be on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel if we do it. And also Cotton Betty Dangerous, says Floyd Kingy. So Munster versus Cardiff, I am hoping to do that game. I have just looked up to see when it is. It is Saturday morning at 6:35 a.m. for that one. Now, Australia about to throw this ball in. Oh, it's going to be the free kick. New Zealand closing the gap. Go Mapimpi, says Spider Mick there. Now taking a quick tap there. It's going to be Jake Gordon. Rush defense. Big shot from Tyrell Lomax once again. Now Alan Alatoa around the side. Seems like the Wallabies, they've got that extra spring in their step now. Marika Korombetti. So he wants to carry right next to the breakdown. Rob Valentini goes round. Getting hit hard in the breakdown. Now Whitelock carries forward. Hands on the ball. Almost got the turnover. He asks for the penalty. He doesn't get it. And now Matt Phillip going around the side with Holloway on his side. Retallick has to make the tackle there. The Wallabies put in nice phases to get it straight out in front of the posts here. But thanks for the fantastic commentary as always. Cheers, Dale. And yeah, do appreciate very much. And also we have got to do the Ulster versus Connacht. That actually overlaps with the game between Argentina and South Africa, but we will keep you posted on what the channel or what the score is throughout that game. Now charging forward once again. Jake Gordon, 10 metres out, currently 9 phases in. Holloway, back quick hands, beautifully worked by Leonard Cattell. Andrew Callaway, he's got it down, has he? It's ended up in the hands of the All Blacks at the end, but I believe Andrew Callaway has got the try for Australia. They are back in the contest. And the All Blacks, they may have had a quick start, but methodically, the Wallabies just trying to break their way through. I think they're going upstairs, though, just to check this one and smash the Brumbies. And also we have got their big hammy, says Golden guessed exactly right. And wrong end of the field, AB says Novmum. It's going to be brilliantly done, though, by Andrew Callaway. He hasn't got that one down. That's not down. That's massive. I think Rico Ioane managed to get the fingers just underneath it. And now they're going to have to check it. I love rugby and Formula One. Crash the ball up or crash into a wall. Take your pick. And also we have got there Waltzing Matilda. And also we have got the 8 try says Spider-Man. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it's going to be disallowed. No grass. Touch the ball there, unfortunately. And crikey, says Carl. This is the best angle of it. Rico Ioane, hand just underneath it enough. And I mean, actually, no, I'm looking at that. It's like a little tiny bit, maybe that touched the grass. It's got to be close. Oh, there's the, I say that is just narrowly touching the ground. That angle doesn't look as good, but that other angle, I think there was a little bit of a grounding. It's going to be a goal line dropout for held up. Sorry, touch of blade of grass. And also we have got their second best try save seen from this boy. Hammy says Golden guest and 50-50 says Floyd Kingy. And then also we have got there Rico Ioane just pulled off a Gregan-esque tackle. And also we have got there BS. That's a try, says Spider-Mick. Yeah, I think from one angle it looked like the ball was just touching. And that's all it needs to do. But from the other, they did decide in the end that it was ruled as a no try. And also, even if there is a finger, it should be a try, says Eben Etzebeth there. Good decision, Monsieur Ref. Did I say Monsieur correctly? Probably not. I say, well, and that was unbelievable, says Heath. Good run forward from Rob Valentini. Now the Wallabies still on attack. They've got another attacking opportunity here. Looping around. Oh, it's been dropped, though, by Bernard Foley. That'll blow it. Now it's going to be the scrum feed for the All Blacks just outside of the 22. Well, this ref and Bunker have one try assist, a penalty assist. Now try save, what a game. And also welcome back to another great live commentary, says Abdul Malik. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. And also we have got there, that's a try, says Eben, and blame that on the guy who mows the lawns, Hamish, says Golden Guest. Yeah, Bernard Foley looking up early, seeing that there was a bit of a gap there, but unfortunately just not quite able to hang on to the ball at the time that it mattered. He'll be disappointed with that one for Foley in his first start for the Wallabies, and actually first game in quite a bit of time. 22.5 minutes gone. The ref gives it to New Zealand again, says QQ. And also we have got there now, this ref has been brought as usual, or bought as usual, a no try. Yes, says Vishal. Also Aussie needs to win, says Dominic, and New Zealand going to win, says Atish. New Zealand big push there. I'd say front row standing up for both sides there. So, yep, they're going to have to go again. Takiaho ended up with the set up off the ground. Same with Tyrell Lomax. James Slipper was up having a look. And I think the same could be said about Pareki. I think everyone almost went in and went into outside of New Zealand. Seb Eben Etzebeth there, and we do Ulster versus Connacht, says James. Unfortunately, that game does overlap with Argentina versus South Africa, so we will be covering the international fixture, and then we will be keeping you updated with what is happening in Ulster versus Connacht at the same time. And he should have passed it, says T7. That's a good point. They did have the man on the outside. Maybe could have had the potential of going over, and also JJJ. We have got there for the Wallabies. Oh, Dalton Papali'i's going off for an HIA, and it looks like David Arvili doesn't look like he's returning to this game. He is sitting on the sideline with the bench with Beauden Barrett. Sam Cane's going off the field for an HIA. Now Dalton Papali'i will get the start, or kind of almost the start, at number 7. Lots of box in the chat says DW, and also Winner the Storm is playing. So they don't actually have a game this first round. They are going to be starting in round 2, and they are going to be playing up against Connacht, and that is at 4:45 a.m. on Sunday morning. Hang on, that also overlaps. That overlaps with the Springboks, I believe. Nothing going our way. Kiwi try looked like he hit sideline when he scored, says Trevor there. And also we've got the no try, she'll be right. And also we need more tries from our forwards. And lots of box in the chat, says DW. And also, hey, Stephen, says Cooper Cronk. Ball's going in now. Going to be available for the All Blacks. The scrum is wheeling. This time it goes the way of the Wallabies. And this will be a nice, easy kick if they do decide they want to go for it. And yes, Papali'i finally says, and it was Spider-Meek. Oh, Alan Alatoa, looks like that cauliflower ear has once again busted open. Doesn't look too nice for him. He might need a little bit of attention on that one. But they are saying there was a knee that went down. I think it was actually this front row, Ethan de Groot, who did end up getting himself penalised there. And also, when is the rugby? That's really startled. When is the boring Super Rugby starting? I shouldn't have even tried to read that, should I? I had a shocker there. February, though. Got some sauce on his chips. Says Ray Mantis. That's going to be another penalty against the All Blacks for closing the gap. They need to stop making that mistake, because that is twice now, leaving one out early. And now 25 minutes through, the Wallabies going to be kicking this one for the corner once again. Bernard Foley. Okay, David Arvili has failed his HIA. They are now checking Sam Cane's HIA. He might be back in about 5 minutes' time if he passes. If not, Papali'i will be being at number 7 for the rest of the game. I would think Jed Holloway taking that one nicely. Well met by the All Blacks in the rolling ball, but Dave Pareki normally for the Waratahs, he's very dangerous. And look at that one go. That's been dragged down cynically, I would say, against the All Blacks if they don't score now, but Rob Valentini does. He gets over. And I was going to say, if it wasn't a Rob Valentini try, someone was probably going to be going to the bin for the All Blacks for dragging that one down when it looked for sure to be a try. But 25 minutes in, and the Wallabies fire back in this contest. Look at that, bringing it down. I believe it was Dalton Papali'i who almost sacrificed himself. He would have been going off the field just like Sam Cane was. The Wallabies have been able to score the try. Wallabies try scorers, but great work from Rob Valentini there to be able to bulldoze his way over. I hear a referee having a chat with Dalton Papali'i, and I think he's going to be going to the bin for 10 minutes. Like I mentioned, it was relatively cynical at the time, and Papali'i now off the field for 10 minutes. So the All Blacks just make mistake after mistake at the moment, and the Wallabies are capitalising on those opportunities. And URC is 10 times better than the super boring league, says Eben Etzebeth. But Eben Etzebeth doesn't even play in the URC. He actually plays in France, doesn't he? Or Japan at the moment. And also we have got there my first try scored. Follow Waller's done. And yeah, it's Rugby People Night UFC says Mr. JJ, and dang it, come on the AB's wrong end of the field. Get down the other end. It's going to be a kick now for Bernard Foley. Looking to make the scores level. He's got it over. And the score now becomes 10-all and the man advantage for the Wallabies. Also, go to the All Blacks, get them. And then also WDF says Floyd King and Itzebeth has moved to the Sharks. Has he made his way back to the Sharks, has he? That'll be an interesting one. And also, I wonder if the All Blacks will win their first game to Australia, says ALH. And come on, boys. And also, LAMH says Mr. JJ. And also, come on, Wallaby, says Suckerbuller. So it's nicely done by the Wallabies there. It's going to be knocked back by Will Jordan. Wasn't a knock on? No, it wasn't. It is going to be play on now. Aaron Smith goes back across to Sam Whitelock. Smith back to Satutu. The All Blacks playing with only 14 on the field. Good run from Geordie Barrett. Tries to move up to the 22, but it's going to be great work there by the Wallabies. I think that's almost going to become a rolling ball. And the Wallabies in the breakdown, I believe, have almost been able to steal that ball. It's going to be popping out the back, is it? Yes, it is. And the Wallabies, they've got to get the scrum here. Yes. It is going to be a Wallaby scrum. Brilliant work from Rob Valentini and also Tom Wright initially and for Kitty to get in there. And also we have got there, ahoy, what a strange time to watch international rugby, says cited. Yeah, for you guys in South Africa or anywhere in the Northern Hemisphere, this is kind of a lunchtime game, which probably feels a little bit weird. And let's go Wallabies. And there says Dominic. And also Aussie, says Thomas there as well. But 27 minutes gone in this contest, 10-all, like I mentioned, but Geordie Barrett, he got held up by Lalakai Foketi and also by Tom Wright. Then from there, Valentini just got straight in there, ripped the ball away off him. And then did manage to win the scrum. Then Hamish Bro, yellow card for the All Blacks players. It was indeed Dalton Papali'i did find himself going to the bin for 10 minutes unless all we have is get their run away to the URC because can't win Super Rugby, says Cooper Cronk, an 80-minute Super, says Golden Geese, and ABs might lose this game and then win the second game. That has been the trend, says Ivan. Yes. Oh. So Sam Kane has failed his HIA, so he is gone for the evening now as well. 2 concussions for the All Blacks possibly throughout this match. So we're certainly going to see, great run from Pete Samu up the middle, ankle tap from Courtois, sorry. Almost said it like he was French. Bernard Foley goes for the chip and chase. Caleb Clark has to wait for it. Boom! From Marika Korombeti drives him backwards. The All Blacks, they've done very well to keep that ball just on their side. Aaron Smith goes across to Samisoni Takiaho. Maybe ran a bit high for that one. But Marika Korombeti getting right in there, putting in those big hits like he always does. Now Aaron Smith looking into the pocket. No, first he goes to Brody Rattel, a couple extra meters, setting up for the kick. Ethan de Groot bent over backwards, almost stolen by the Wallabies. Everyone's just firing at the moment, and the smoke still hasn't cleared. It's going to be out inside of the 22. All Blacks being destroyed now, says Buster Bell. Also, we have got there. It's a really good game. Both sides play so far. And South Africa teams only won Super Rugby 3 times in 25 years, says Floyd Kingy. And now, why is it on Thursday, though? Due to the NRL and AFL playoff games, they have decided that Super Rugby doesn't get priority, I guess you could say. I would have liked to see this first game in New Zealand, second game in Australia, so that there weren't too many overlaps. But if they aren't thinking of opening a stadium roof for smoke, they're probably not thinking about the schedules too much. Ethan de Groot has to clean that one up for the All Blacks, sitting 10 meters out from the line now. Kicking that one high is Aaron Smith. That one's going close to the touchline. Nicely taken by Marika Korombeti. Now accelerating. Will Jordan unable to get him. So Tutu fended off. The only player who slowed him down was a teammate, Pete Samu. Good shot there from Samisoni Takiaho, though. Now Bernard Foley tries to pick a gap. Good tackle made by Ioane. Short side once again. Callaway goes to Tom Wright, who wasn't expecting it, but he should have been. And it's going to be a knock-on against the Wallabies. And also, we have got there, the refs cheated the box out of Super Rugby facts, says Thomas Luke. And also, we have got there, go on the All Blacks. And also, they make a decision to open the roof in 3 weeks' time, says Master Mel. And also, we have got there, who's next to go coach off course, says Spider-Meek. And also, inferior Super Rugby sucked after Super 14, says Suckerbuller. And also, Aussies look up for that challenge today. And Super Rugby is dead without the box, says Thomas Luke there. Although the good thing about the box in the URC is the fact that we do get to see them take part in the Champions Cup. So we get to see that Northern Hemisphere, not just in the URC, but also we get to see them play up against the Gallagher Premiership top sides, the French sides, and also they just get a lot of new matchups that we probably didn't think we would be seeing about 5 or so years ago. Ethan de Groot now off for an HIA. Lovely. Never mind, no, he's not. He got back up. I think that was from that one that he got cleaned out on the breakdown, how he got bent over backwards. Also, she's a tug of war tonight, boys. It certainly is. And like my prediction said, I said All Blacks by 7, but it could easily be split by less than that. And it could easily be the Wallabies by 7. We just never know with the Bledisloe Cup match. And if we did, taking a slash and feeling nervous, says Distracted. Are you feeling nervous about the slash, or are you feeling nervous about the rugby Distracted Sports at the moment? Fingers crossed for you. And personally, I'm looking forward to seeing Aussie teams dominate Super Rugby for the next decade. And so many people are leaving in this game because of the head knock, says T7. And also, I expect this team, the guts and the glory, is a good 80, says a Golden Guest as well. Now, the All Blacks, they have got the scrum feed 22 metres out from their own line. They will not be able to kick this one into touch on the full. And some people think Super Rugby is better. Someone's siding with this URC. All I know is that top 14 sides would thrash everyone. Says Sebastian penalty to Australia. That time it was Alan Alaratai and Pareki really putting in a good shove. And now the All Blacks, they are going to once again possibly concede another 3 points. I have a dream. The cup is getting across the ditch, says Spider Meek. And also we have got there, looks like it could be 3 points difference for the winner. And also we have got Amish Bro after the All Blacks. Good start, Aussie sides back on the game. Still 8 minutes to go in the break in the first half. Are they playing for the Bledisloe Cup today? They certainly are. So whoever wins this game has one up in the Bledisloe Cup. If the Wallabies draw or lose, if they draw or win at Eden Park, if they win this contest, they are taking home the Bledisloe. Then if New Zealand win this game, no matter what, they have kept the Bledisloe Cup, acting like playing Fiji and Australia is better. Playing in Europe, it's just a joke. If you say that, you obviously don't know much about rugby, says Eben Detsabev. Although the thing is, there are different styles of rugby. There's a reason that the Southern Hemisphere have won so many World Cups. And being a Southern Hemisphere Springbok yourself, Eben, you would know that South Africa have won a cup or two. So maybe trying to keep on evolving their game. I can understand why they headed north. Don't get me wrong. But there is still history in favour of the Southern Hemisphere when it comes to the grander stage. In fact, says Master Mel, but now going to be just 5 metres out from the line here for the Wallabies. Looks like they were looking to the right-hand side. Pareki goes round the side. Jake Gordon going back across once again. Jed Holloway, good low tackle made by Sam Whitelock. Gordon goes back across. Now short ball, close for Lena Cattell. Just metres from the line and a lead for the Wallabies. Pete Samu! Oh, how have they stopped him? The ref's gone down. The referee had to try and make the tackle for the ABs. They are down to 14 maybe, trying to get himself the call up to number 7 now that Sam Kane's concussed. Now Marika Koromberi, great tackle on him by Hoskins, a 2-2. And Samasoni Takiaho as well. Still looking to go phase after phase after phase. Matt Phillip goes down once again. Now Jake Gordon goes back across. James Slipper, another carry forward. Currently, Jake Gordon looking for more men on his right-hand side. Oh, that wasn't good. What happened there? I don't actually know what happened with Jake Gordon. I think he either dropped the ball backwards or something just went wrong in the breakdown. Maybe just a little slip on the hand or something along those lines. And also, Wizardi's incredible play. He's currently probably, I don't know whether he's at the hospital at this very point in time, but his wife is giving birth. So that is why he is not there. Same with Rory Arnold. Penalty to the All Blacks, 5 metres out from the line, I believe. Was that Quinn Tupai? Yes, it was, who managed to get in there. He gets the respect from Brody Retallick, probably thinking, geez, I should have probably been in there. Quinn Tupai has been able to clean it up. And also, we have got there, the box lives in your head whenever you post it, always about the box. And also, we have got there, All Blacks had too many booster shots. Interesting. Okay. And also, we have got there definitely some changes in halftime for the All Blacks side, as other Wallabies have to win both games in order to get the cup. Win one, draw one. So pretty much two. New Zealand only win 3 World Cups because the Box missed 2 World Cups. So what happened with the Australian ones? I guess that's because the Box missed them as well, isn't it, Eben? Oh, no, Rob Leota is injured. And there's I just love, Imagine if it was the real Eben Etzebeth. Oh, good inside ball. Caleb Clark now going through. Beautiful step in. He's gone round Callaway. Just needs an offload. He wants to go himself, though. He's trying to create that magic moment. But Tom Wright has done sensationally to be able to stop him. It's going to be the advantage against Tom Wright for not rolling away. And I believe the penalty goes the way of the All Blacks. An evenly match so far. Says sided all. Oh, no, he's going to the pocket again. Caleb Clark's got an injured ankle, or more injured than it already was. I think Tom Wright is going to the bin, and Quinn Tupuai's shoulder is out at the moment. He looks like he's in some real discomfort. So, Tom Wright is going off the field. Geordie Barrett. Now the question is, where are they going to put everyone? Beauden Barrett, I think, is about to make his way out there. I told people before the game, New Zealand got a big head after beating Argentina, says Eben. And there's, well, that does not look good for the New Zealanders at this point. And Tupuai, and some people stop saying try. When it's not the case, says Sebastian, and also yellow card. And the centre. And Hamish, do you think the ref interfered too much? Says Spiderbeak. In some games, they do have a little bit too much of a say in the contest, I would say. Okay, what happens here? Because Tom Wright makes the tackle initially. Where is the injury of Quinn Tupuai? I think he joined in here. So he joins the breakdown. Who cleans up Quinn Tupuai? This is the longest slow motion replay I think I've ever seen. So Quinn Tupuai goes in. He goes down. Oh, it's the shot from, I believe, I think that's Darcy Swain, who's come in and got Quinn Tupuai's shoulder. And Geordie at 12, finally, there's a chance that we might see it. And please recap the injuries, not watching but loving the commentary, says James. So the first injury we saw was David Havili. He went off the field for an HIA. He did not return. Second injury, it was targeted the lower limb of the jackler. This may be a penalty, maybe something more. So also Sam Cane failed his HIA. Then we saw Dalton Papali'i get a yellow card. That wasn't the injury. Clark looks like he may have a little bit of an ankle injury. Quinn Tupuai's got a sore shoulder. And also Rob Leota is off the field for the Wallabies due to his injury of a leg injury of some sort. And also looked like the group stayed down for a bit longer. Okay, they're saying that he targets the left leg. Does Tom Wright kick him? Is that what happened there? I think someone's going to the bin. It's just what for? I think they're saying that Tom Wright may have tried to kick him. Oh, no. Are they saying Darcy Swain? Shoulder to the head of Quinn Tupuai, the back of his head. I think this is going to be a double yellow card for the Wallabies here. I think we're going to see Tom Wright, first of all, for slowing it down very, very much. Wait, now they're checking to see. Okay, so apparently there's also one that targeted Darcy's. Oh, there it is. So he not only had the one for the shoulder charge, he's now got another one for targeting Quinn Tupuai, who was halfway in a split here. So Quinn Tupuai, he tries to get up. And then from there, Darcy Swain comes in through the side and twists the shin and the knee of Quinn Tupuai. This is going to be probably a double yellow card for one moment in this one. And also looks like we might end up with a 7-a-side rugby game with all the injuries and all of the penalties now. Yeah, that's cynical from Darcy Swain. That is about as dirty as you will see from a player in a Bledisloe Cup test match. And that's saying something. Red card for New Zealand, says Eben. So it's going to be now, I believe, a yellow card for Tom Wright, a red card for Darcy Swain, and the All Blacks are going to be back to 15 now. Or is it a yellow card for Darcy Swain? It's your responsibility. So remembering he had that shoulder charge on Quinn Tupuai first of all, which could have been close to a yellow. He's gone for the lower limb. He's twisted it. It's a yellow card for Darcy Swain. Count himself very, very lucky. He's only just made his way out onto the park. Very similar to what we saw for Dalton Papali'i. Makes his way out there and pretty much the first breakdown and first involvement in the game. Oh, that's really bad. That could be a season-ending injury for Quinn Tupuai. and Darcy Swain. Is Tupai continuing? If he is, he's a bloody hard individual. But it looks like Geordie Barrett's now in the back line. So is Beauden Barrett. And Dalton Papali's made his way back out onto the field. And he learned that dirty play from Johnny Hill. Some of those ABs should get yellow cards just for their hairstyles. Yeah, there are some shockers out there. And Evan should get a red card for a scary face. He should have been sent packing, my bro. So now the All Blacks, they are going to be playing up against 13 men. They've got to line out 5 metres out from the line. And Quinn Tupai, his injury is currently unknown. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck might get a chance. Oh, I think he might have put that one down. Samisoni Takiao, he doesn't look like he's celebrating. He's disappointed. I believe he was over the line. He ended up dropping it. But they are going to go upstairs to check this one. Wallabies are officially a rugby league side. Now 13 lads. And I was like, can I chat now, says Mr. JJ. Can you chat now? I assume you could always chat, I would assume. And let's go, All Blacks. Says Josiah there. And yep, take that. Says Ray Mantis. Yeah, great defense. First of all, from Jake Gordon to then rip that ball out of the hands of Samisoni Takiao. That is going to be a no try, but it will still be, I believe, a scrum feed for Australia 5 metres out from the line here. And then France win the World Cup, no doubt, says Easy Ollie. And also, let's go Wallabies, says Max Cassidy there as well. But 36 minutes through the contest. This first half has had a lot in it. We've had 3 yellow cards. We've had debatably the most injuries in a Rugby Championship half with Havili, Kane, Tupai, and Rob Leota, plus a few players who are probably still carrying injuries but still staying out there for a little bit longer. And also, we have got there a yellow card, says Mr. JJ. And then also no try. That's still a mental edge for the Aussies, for the ABs. And England and France will not make the Rugby World Cup final. And also we have got the outcome on Australia, says Ryan. And also bring Nick White on. We need a good performance now, says Evan. Although Jake Gordon just made a try, save and tackle, so I think he will get to stay out for a little bit longer in this one. But it's going to be kicked long by Bernard Foley. Going down to halfway to Caleb Clark, who looks like he's about to wind up. Thought about passing off to Satutu. Instead runs it straight at Slipper and Samu. The 2 S's. Now back across Samisoni Takiao to Richie Moonga. Goes for the drone pass. Finds the hands of Rieko Ioane. Brilliantly done. Offload to Aaron Smith just a little bit low. And Callaway runs it into touch. Scrum feed for Australia. So I believe the reshuffle we have seen in the back line at the moment for the All Blacks. I believe Beauden Barrett is playing 12. Or maybe Richie Moonga is playing 12. I know that either way, one of those two are going to be the 12. Every other back replacement for the All Blacks has now been used, other than Finlay Christie. Quinn Tupai, though, he's got the ice pack on his leg. I think his season's over now, unfortunately, and he can thank Darcy Swain for that, because it was a pretty cynical hit. Not only did he pretty much put his shoulder out of place first, but then also ended up getting his kneecap the wrong way. And love the situation now. It's very hard to say who's going to win the World Cup. All the teams are going strong, not like ABs or ABs number 1 for granted. Says Stang, exactly right. And also AB's still the king of those ridiculous offloads, says Sighted. And also good day Wallabies and mullets are a strong weapon for the AB's players, says Eben. So now the All Blacks are going to definitely try to drive hard here. And also we've got there a treat. And then AB's still the kings of the offloads. And they will be looking for a few of them here. Although first they do have to get the ball back. And also that was blatant, says Ray Mantis. Yeah, the fact that I would say yellow card for even that first clean out, even though, no, I'd say penalty for the first clean out. There's going to be a lot of pressure there. The All Blacks are going to have themselves a scrum advantage now. Aaron Smith passes across to Richie Moonga. One more to Rieko Ioane. They've got numbers on the outside. Beauden Barrett just couldn't get it into his hands. And that was a pass that needed to find the hands of Beauden Barrett from Rieko Ioane. And also Australia are known to play better with 13 players, and great commentary listening all the way from South Africa, says Cat Lego. Yeah, I hope you are doing very well. Must be around lunchtime for yourself there. $900 for the Wallabies, says Emilio. And also after New Zealand loss, it's downhill from here on. And famous New Zealander rubbish, says Bevan. And hi, says T, and welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. But Rieko Ioane, did he hang on to it too long here? We just got it wrong. Beauden Barrett had to try and take the catch behind him. He either went too early and too late. I think it was too early, and Beauden Barrett's disappointed. And South Africa is going to win the World Cup. Even said so, says Evan Fundamerva. And come on, Australia, it's nearly halftime, says Thomas Luke. using up plenty of time here for Australia. This is beneficial for them. This is actually going to be a penalty in favour of Australia. And they kick it downfield from Bernard Foley. Len Ikatel, though, a little bit more silent than we would have thought for the first half, and Eben tripping when France realised the Box already won World Cup in France, says Eben. And Bodie is on now. ABs have a few extra gears to shift into now. But the big thing is, have they got too many playmakers in that lineup? We always talk about it. For Beauden Barrett and Richie Mo'unga, can you play both of them at once? Pretty much the All Blacks have no choice here because of the injuries they have sustained. But now Jake Gordon passing it back across to Rob Valentini. Trying to drive forward very nicely there, hanging on to it. It looks like Jake Gordon asking for the penalty. It's going to be the scrum fab for the Wallabies. Couldn't free it. And also we've got the Geordie at 12, says Nathan, in my sympathies. Ian, I've got a bunch of brain-dead players. I just can't show patience. I have to score immediately. And also we look like we've got another injury out there on the park. Dave Parecki staying down for a bit longer. Caleb Clark runs away from his support when he breaks the line. Says Ben Gutsell. Hopefully I've said that correctly. And also we've got there the smoke. So the closed stadium is finally lifting. They didn't think of that though. Says AJ. Exactly right. I said it at the start of the game, even before the smoke was set. I said whoever decided to put fireworks inside of an indoor stadium needs a downgrade in their pay. Because for one, they didn't just light a few. It wasn't a couple sparklers or anything along those lines. It was, hey, let's have the 4th of July inside of Marvel Stadium and see how it goes. And also I knew it. And also there can only be one Eben in this chat, says Eben Etzebeth. And also South African listening from Lagos, as long as it's Kiwi lads. Oh, as long as it's the Kiwi lads, thank you, says Kobus there. And open the lid, please, says Mr. JJ. Yeah, Parecki's neck still getting a little bit of attention here. Hopefully he is going to be all right. We've seen way too many injuries in this contest. Both sides are going to have to put out a whole new starting lineup for the match at Eden Park. Parecki's very slow to get to his feet. So I would think if you're the Wallabies, you're sitting close to halftime. There's Darcy Swain. And also Tom Wright sitting in the bin. Give the ball to Will. Yeah, has he touched it yet? This game, I will give Geordie a call. Ask him what's up with that haircut, says Eben Etzebeth. And also, no try, not grounded, says John. And also, we have got the LED drone show. And there says Ben Gut. And Wallabies always do. And close game, says Carl in there as well. It certainly is. A Bledisloe Cup match. They always seem to be able to fight extremely hard. Both of these sides keeping it close. Wales always do it, says James there. And All Blacks need Willie LaRue, says Shelby. Now, New Zealand went a little bit too early. It's going to be the free kick and kicked into touch by Australia. We go into halftime 10-all between these two sides. An extremely tight one, extremely eventful one. We saw injuries. We saw cards. We saw no tries. We saw interesting decisions. You're so ugly, says Keanu. Appreciate you, mate. Do love you very much. And also we have got that kick. Oh, that kick. Those two yellow might hurt in the second. And then also we have got the 10-10. Sounds like a crack again, says Floyd Kingy. And also we need Will Jordan at fullback, says James Taylor. They may consider making that option in the second half, perhaps. And fireworks indoors, of course. How else do you fire up a crowd in Oz? Says Owie. And also we have that there. We'll need better than that, Keanu. Yeah. We'll give him another chance. Give me your best insult, Keanu, because that one was about as poor as a probably primary school insult. I need something a little bit sharper. You've got this to work with. Go for it. You know? Wonky eye. No, not quite wonky eyes. I got the dark under eyes. I won't hide him. Let's give him another crack here. See what he can come up with. Well, that one, you've got this. You know, you could call me a rabbit. That would be better than nothing. And also, yeah, going to have a fiery second half. And also, we have got there in the Jack Gummer Wallabies. Great game so far, says Rugby Itch. And Pumas can beat the All Blacks. The Box are performing poorly. And also, we'll wake up tomorrow morning to yet another AB's loss as a Kiwi. And always a gentleman. Thanks for your commentary, says Yanni Meyer. Yeah, no worries at all. And we are going to be doing the game taking place a little bit later on between South Africa and the Pumas. Now, later on is normally in a few hours, but later on this time is actually going to be in about 3 days. It is at 7:10 a.m. and better teeth than me, says Ben. And also, Swain should have had a red card. I agree. That one was cynical. And it was just a very dirty play. And it wasn't just dirty for that moment. He's cost Quinn Tupaya's season now. And tried a few live commentaries. Yours is the best, says Gunter. Do appreciate that very much. And how are you, mate? Hope you are well. Great commentary. You are the GOAT, says Bevan. I've been doing very well at the moment. It's been a nice eventful first half for all the wrong reasons at times, but I think it's going to be hopefully a close second half. Both of these sides going out there firing. I was like, G says, Mr. JD, I'm hanging out for the halftime quiz. Hit me, Hamish says, Stephen, at the moment, we haven't really got too many halftime quizzes, although I will ask the question, according to the Super Rugby and Rugby Championship website, who do you guys think has the most running meters out of any player so far in this match? Do let me know. I thought the ABs were going to run away with this. The way the game started, says Thomas Luke. Yeah, they started very well, the All Blacks, but then the Wallabies slowly brought themselves back into the game. Who's looking better, Hamish, ABs or Oz? Ooh, it's a tricky one because I want to say the All Blacks definitely look better for the first 10. Second 10, I'd say it went the Wallabies' way. And then third 10 is probably Wallabies as well. So I would say the last 10 minutes, the All Blacks looked a little bit better. First 10 minutes, they looked better. And then in between, they did end up having a bit of a rough patch. And be a forward, says Mr. J. And Corin Betty, says Ryan. And Caleb Clark for running meters, says Ben. And all the top international teams are even, says Floyd Kingy. They certainly are. No red cards, please. Let's play the game, says Eben there. A man who's had a few of them in his time. Eben Etzebeff, of course. And also, unlike the smoke, the discipline has managed to dissipate. Sorry, I struggled with that one, despite the closed roof. And how many minutes left for the first yellow card for Australia? They have probably both they went off at pretty much the same time. They've got about 5 minutes left for both of them at this point in time. So there's still plenty of time for the All Blacks to capitalise, but there's also a good chance that the Wallabies, if they can keep themselves in this game, they won't be too far behind. So the most running meters, according to this website, which is the Rugby Championship one, I'm going off that. For the Wallabies, it was Pete Samu with 42. But for the All Blacks, it was Caleb Clark with 96. So he gets the job done. And there's New Zealand took no notes. The Box versus Oz game, says Eben Etzebeff. And who will take the Rugby Championship, says Shelby. It's such a tough one. At the moment, I'm going to show the table. This is how we sit after 4 rounds of rugby. How has everyone managed 2 wins, 2 losses? At the moment, my favourites to win, I think, is South Africa. Because if they can get the job done up against Argentina in Argentina, you'd have to say they're almost on the home stretch. But New Zealand, if they want any chance of winning this whole competition, the Rugby Championship, they need to make sure that they do end up winning this game. A bonus point really isn't that important. Their points differential is pretty good. Their try scoring's pretty decent. And also, we've got 100% a red card. Darcy Swain, it's disgusting, says Jordan. Yeah, extremely dirty play. And it's a shame because Quintupai only just making his way out onto the field. The thing is, if there is ever a time where a yellow card can become a suspension, I think it's that. If they re-look at that one and go, hang on, what part of that was legal? I think the worst thing is he almost he had given away the penalty already with the way that he charged in and knocked him on the back of the head for the clean-out. And then alongside that, did go pretty much put his kneecap the wrong way. And like I said, he's cost Quintupai his season now. He won't be playing in the end of the year November internationals, I wouldn't think. He may not even get to play in Super Rugby, depending on how long that injury takes. Like, you could be looking at 9 months. If Darcy Swain has done some serious damage, like 9 months, you're almost looking at the mid-year internationals next year. By then, who knows who will be in the picture? What about the ref having a good game? 50-50, I would say. There's been some good decisions, but I've probably seen about 4 or 5 that weren't the best. And that isn't just against one team. I've also seen a couple going against the opposition. So I'd say I've seen a couple from the ABs that should have been penalties. I've seen a few from the Wallabies that should have been penalties as well. Not the best officiating. The Wallabies try should have been awarded or could have been awarded. Also, Darcy should have been sent off. All teams are inconsistent. This is just the first time that the ABs are consistent or inconsistent. They are human. Can you believe it? Says Thomas. And also, knee damage is a biggie. Exactly right. And the thing is, like, even that can lead to more. Like, I know that this is still very early. He may only have like a sprained knee or something like that. He might be back in a few weeks. But when you start getting knee injuries, that can shorten your career. And for him to only get a yellow card for that seems a little bit light, to say the least. And I never expected to draw at halftime, says Eben. I know it was going to be close. I didn't think it was going to be this close. I thought maybe split by 3 to 7 points, but 10-10 is a pretty good score for these two sides. Right, so we asked the question of who had the most running meters. I'm going to ask you guys now, who do you think is going to be the man with the most tackles made in there. And also we have got that like button costs nothing, guys. Push the button. And also if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. You guys will be in here. We will be back for the Springboks versus the Pumas. Also the URC we are going to be covering on the channel. When Super Rugby comes around, we're going to be covering that. Even could you hook us up with some roids, says Floyd Kingy, and the fact that the Wallabies came back and tie it up gives me some confidence that they could possibly get the win, says the Diaramundi. Hopefully I've said that not too badly, but yeah, there's still a very high chance that we see Australia getting themselves a win in this match. And also Berkey time, says Lorraine Mantis, I believe you, Eben. Once I see you make crazy eyes, says AJ, and no Northern Hemisphere team will win the World Cup. Games would be different, or would have been different if there were South African officials, says Shelby there. And Roger Tuivasa-Sheck next week seems like a big moment or a big chance that we see him in there, because Havili's out with the concussion. Alongside that, they have had now Quinta Paya. He'll be out with the knee injury more than likely. And then you've also still not got Jack Goodhue, Anton Leonard-Brown. I think it's going to be Tuivasa-Sheck and also Tuivasa-Sheck and Ioane. Alongside that, maybe you've got Sever Reese as the guy off the bench, possibly, at this stage. But looking through at the tackles, who has made the most, Pete Samu, he was actually leading meterage for the Wallabies as well. He's made 6 alongside, he is actually second equal, James Slipper, making the 7 tackles in the game. Then Scott Barrett, he has made 9, 7 for Sam Whitelock, and 8 for Hoskins Satutu. And hope to put it on the line, or have to put it on the line, Hammy. He just saw a way, but blinded to see the pressure on him already, says Golden Guest. And Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is playing not in this game, but more than likely for the next game. He will be in there. And Roger says Rain Mantis, and also France don't have BMT. What is BMT, man? I can't quite remember what that means. Is that a sponsor? No, probably not. And also we have got their 1 year lock and happen, says Nick. And the Northern Hemisphere are great at peaking a year too early, as there is only 1 reserve left for the AB, says James Taylor. So of those backline replacements, in fact, of the forward replacements as well, we will go through them right now. Looking through, first of all, for the home side, Australia. They have brought Darcy Swain out onto the field. He is actually off the field now, though, due to getting his yellow card. Then for New Zealand, they have already lost Sam Cane, so that means Dalton Papali'i has made his way out onto the field. He got a yellow card also, but now has made his way back out onto the park. Bowden Barrett is out there for Quinta Paya, who, as you'll notice, is on that bench as well. He was out there for David Havili, but now has picked up that knee injury, finds himself out of this game, and maybe for a majority of the rest of the year. And also we have got big match temp, says Frank. And also, is this the best, or the All Blacks best team? Yeah, they're up there. They've got a strong lineup. They decided to go with the same side roughly as they did go with in their game up against the Pumas. Relatively similar. Marika also repeated what he done to Corin Berry, says Alaisiasa. And also big match temperament, and France have it in spades. And also with all the All Blacks injuries, Samoa and Fiji must be worried, says Wilson's. And also we have got don't care about what other people say, and the sake of controversy, missing Izzy Folau, says Stang. And yeah, unfortunately, he's also injured, isn't he? Did he end up going head-to-head with Samoa, I want to say was his first game, or it might have been up against Australia A, that he did find himself in action for Tonga, and then did end up with a calf injury chasing a kickoff. Unfortunate. And also feeling confident the boys can go on and bring our baby home. And that's the thing. I actually, thinking about Tonga, they lost Israel Folau, Charles Piutau, and Malakai Fekitoa all to injury after the very first game back at international level. So I'm not too sure how many of those players will be back at this point. If anyone can put 40 on the board in the second half, it's the ABs, says Awera there. And also what would happen if in the second half, Matt Phillip was running away and passed the ball to Marika Koromberi and he missed it and it landed in Mark Winterbottom's car. Who's going the other way? That one's confused me. I think I've missed something there, haven't I? And also nothing for our team to score 50 more watching, says Mr. JJ. And Fiji and Samoa must have given their players to New Zealand, says Ebenezer, and best commentating channel. You will grow even more, says Nick. And I do appreciate it a lot. Anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also be sure to check out the Kiwi Lads Sport. It is our other channel that we have got where we do post a few other sports, rugby league, football, bit of mixed martial arts and whatnot over there as well. Be sure to give that a look. Also, if you do need a VPN to be able to watch these games, depending on whereabouts you are from, if you're outside of Australia and you want to be able to watch these games for free, you can do so on the 9Now app. Definitely the Australian home games. Other than that, you will need a Stan Sport free trial, which you can get if you do set yourself to Australia. Be sure to use that pinned comment link. It does help out the channel. So it is an affiliate one. And yeah, pretty much you'll get access to a VPN where you can watch things from all over the world. Very nice indeed. And if its games ends in a draw, then Australia also has one hand on the Bledisloe. In a weird way, a draw would be an ideal result. Like, for a neutral perspective. The reason I say that is because normally the third game, you want to see a decider. This one only has 2 games. It's going to be only pretty much whoever wins this almost wins the Bledisloe, but it's going to be very tricky for Australia because they will have to get it twice. Bacon, meat, and tomato, says Stephen Bissett. And also, we have got Watch Nick White come on the skin half and score. Redeem, says AJ. And as I tell Geordie to come say hi quick and don't underestimate the best sporting team for any sports, the ABs. So they must come out hard. Score after half-time, come on the Aussies. And did Swain tackle a leg? Says Master Mel. He did indeed, illegally. Probably very lucky to still be able to continue this match. And also watching from Fiji, says Lasiasa. And also first team to score will win it. Is that what it stands for, John? See, I thought it was, what was it? Bacon, meat, and tomato. It sounded like a decent sandwich starting to form. I'm not sure whether or not I want that in my sandwich, though. And One World Sport Radio will bring Argentina versus South Africa live commentary. And as well, says David, we will also be providing commentary for that one. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. South Africa versus Argentina going to be taking place. We've also got a build-up where we will be breaking down stats, also a few other little exciting things, interviews as well. And also stop making fun of my mullet, says Geordie. But you haven't got one anymore, Geordie. You've pretty much buzz-cut it at the moment. Am I looking at the right score? You certainly are. Well, Winterbottom is in a race. And he's trying to keep Van Gisberg behind him. And also we have got there, and the chat, no, Roger Tuvasashek Karma said, no problem. I'll clear the O for you, Roger. And there says Master Mel. Also looking forward to it. Good work. There you are doing, says David. And then take it easy there, mate, says Evan. I assume that wasn't because I drank water. That was probably from something in the chat. I should also mention at 11:45 initially, that's when we were scheduled to start our post-match review. I'm going to have to change that because they are going extremely late at this stage. So we're going to change that to about 11:55 p.m. New Zealand time is when we're going to be starting that one. Is that Paddy Wagon? Oh, was that Paddy Wagon on here earlier? It certainly was. And Daniel Watson has said stink game. And I never expected a 10-0 draw at halftime, says Eben Etzebeth. Yeah, at the end of the day, the Bledisloe Cup has had some close matches in the past. It's been a dramatic first half. 58 minutes they've just said. There you go. 58 minutes. That is a very long half. No wonder this game is running along. And good kick, says Beach Bliss. And we got this AB. So the second half now back underway. Bernard Foley will be getting us underway for the Wallabies. Has kicked off high. The smoke has cleared. It's going to be taken nicely by Sam Whitelock just outside of the 22. Now, New Zealand have a 2-man advantage for the next 5 minutes or so. So Masoni Takiaho does nicely with the carry. Smith goes back to Richie Moonga. Now to Bowden Barrett, who looks like he is there as the second 5 for this one. Will Jordan kicks it downfield. It's looking like it's going to be drifting nicely back infield. Andrew Callaway doesn't get the bounce that he was after. And Will Jordan makes a great tackle there alongside Hoskins Atutu. Bit of a counter-ruck coming from the All Blacks, hanging on just for the Wallabies. It's going to be stolen by Aaron Smith, who takes it beautifully now. Ethan Agru goes to big Brodie Retallick. Passes on the outside to Samasoni Takiao, who steps and drives. He's over the big man. And it's another try for Samasoni Takiaho. And I mean, if there's any question of who should be out there starting the matches for the ABs, now that's certainly, I mean, it was already answered to be fair, but that one's getting answered more and more each and every week. Bowden Barrett went for the cross kick to Will Jordan. They are saying that was the best part of it, but I think it was Will Jordan's kick downfield and the turnover at the breakdown for the All Blacks. Ethan de Groo went off to Brodie Retallick. How much that man wanted to just stride forward and get himself over the line. Instead gives it off to Takiaho, though they have men on the outside. Takiaho backs his size and his strength and runs it in. Try scoring machine. And Samasoni, what a beast. And there, And also, we have got the FML up a great try by the two, says Master Mel. And what a team respect ABs and beast mode, says the Chief. And everyone watching New Zealand and Australia compete. In comes the Box to take the cup away, says Jamin. And they are going to be having their battle with the Pumas at 7:10 a.m. on Sunday. We will be covering that game on the chat as well, or on the channel as well, I should say. And also, we have got there the new Kevin, says DW. Now, Richie Mo'unga about to line up this kick. 42 minutes in, so they scored in the 3rd minute of the first half. They scored in the 2nd minute of the second half. But I should mention, that was the only try that they got in the first half. So the All Blacks certainly need to make sure that they work hard. Takiaho in there says it was Zubayed. He's a beast. He certainly is, scoring 2 tries in this contest. Now, Richie Mo'unga, can he add the extra 2? 25 out on the angle, a little bit of left to right on the ball. It's just gone over, and Richie Mo'unga makes it now 17 points to 10. So the All Blacks already making the most of that extra 2-man advantage that they find themselves. Rob Leota looks like he's done maybe I'd say a calf muscle with the placing of the ice, and also with the fact that he has got the crutches. His leg is still shaking, though. I think that's what I do when I'm sitting still. But he will be absolutely gutted that he has to come off the field for this one. Right, it looks like James Slipper also got some ice on the calf. This game is brutal at the moment. Ethan the Great pass from the prop, says AJ. And also we have got the Eden Park is no longer a fortress, says Ebenezer. And also Samasoni should have been starting AB hooker last year if us nobody seemed to know more than our mate Fozzie, says Marco Vanapola. And Chahu says crazy and said now Bowden Barrett back across to Satutu. Rico Ioane starts to accelerate. Great pass on the inside. Satutu, why are you kicking that? He's gone for the grubber. It's going to go straight to Callaway. Just a pass would have done there for the ABs, but it's a counter ruck from the All Blacks. And like they're saying, it is going to be a high tackle here to the Wallabies. That is a brutal mistake from Hoskins Satutu. You get your final chance back in the lineup while Artie Savi is helping his wife give birth. And you just chip it in behind where Big Brody's on your outside. It's a massive mistake. He had Smith as well. That just makes it a bit worse. And also Eden Park may not be a fortress. The Marvel Stadium isn't even a rugby venue. And why did he kick it, says Sweet as. And also he needs to hook more. I went on the left side to jab. And good on the right sideline. And that's the thing with Hoskins. And Hoskins Satutu having a shambles. And bring Artie back, says Sweet as. But yeah, unfortunately Artie Savi, he won't be back this week because he is having a child. Okay. Okay, they've just clarified. They've got Geordie at 12, which means the fullback position was open. And they gave it to Bowden Barrett. What does Will Jordan need to do to wear 15? He just needs to have the last name Barrett. He should legally change his last name to Barrett. Then he can lock in that 15 jersey. Okay. They are looking like it's going to be just on the side of the Wallabies. And 2 yellow cards. CCH, and I thought it was watching the block with that kick. And also we have got the Hoskins Satutu who needs to give himself an uppercut, says John. Yeah, a player that a lot of people have been waiting to see back into the lineup, but hasn't exactly lit the world on fire in this match as of yet. Nice work and the breakdown from Papali. Does he get the turnover? Not quite able to line up the ball. It looks like Jay Gordon's going to be going for the box kick here, 40 meters out from their own line, getting out high. And also we have the good night, says Jose. And then nice take from Will Jordan under the high ball. Australia have 2 men in there. They win the penalty as well. In the end, 5 off feet. That's going to be against Sam Whitelock. Darcy Swain makes his way back out onto the field. Same with Tom Wright. Now, Darcy Swain, if this was in New Zealand, he would be getting booed off the park right now. Great work from Jed Holloway to be able to make the tackle on Will Jordan. Then from there, straight over. Did he roll away? It's a bit debatable because he was on the All Blacks side, hence why the All Blacks were a bit further back with their clean out. But there's still a penalty to the Wallabies. Nonetheless, gives Satutu a chance. He's just coming back from the cold, says Buttermeek. And also Hoskins, what's big Mike Hoskins doing as an AB? A big bribe. The position doesn't matter with 2 yellow cards, but good pressure. Says Golden gets there. And also we have got their shout out. Oh, shout the family KFC Nuggets, my guy, says Nathan. Thank you very much for your kind donation, Nathan. Those good old KFC nuggets, eh? You've made it come up into my mind again. The crispy strips. Why did New Zealand get rid of crispy strips? They still have them in Australia, and they are phenomenal. New Zealand, they need to bring them back. I'm going to start a campaign. I'll probably get like 2 signatures, but crispy strips were where it was at. And also, we have got. Did you hear anything about someone standing outside a Pack and Save somewhere and yelling into the shop, "Where are your clothes?" No, I didn't hear about that one. Interesting dialogue, I guess you could say. Foley struck it nicely. That kick's gone over, and now the score is going to be 13 points to 17 on running time, but a good call, says Golden Guest. A very generous Nathan. And how is Ioane still on the field? Should have been sent off, says Master Mel. For the high tackle, I assume. Was he the one who did it? And also Rich Guy, says Cooper Cronk. And then also flips the penny, says Mr. JJ. And it's over, says the Beach. And also noted Master Mel, Darcy should be off, says Sebastian. Nicely taken by Darcy Swain. And also we have got there, you'll better win or you'll lose your citizenship, says Prime Minister. In there as well. Interesting. I mean, some of these boys wouldn't mind being able to play overseas a little bit. We normally send our players off. Just look at Nutty Lamapa. He would have been quite a handy asset in the midfield till they scared him away. And also, how come you're not live, says Bevan. How come I'm not live? I am live. Bevan, I'm still here. In case he legs on the size of chicken legs these days, says Floyd Kingy. And the tenders are better, says Royal. And there, see, I don't mind the chicken tenders, but I just love the crispy strips. And also, I put my name forward to coach the ABs, and I haven't heard since, says Spider Meek. And also, the waving from you, Julian. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing very well. It is going to be now a scrum feed for the Wallabies. 48 minutes in case he is bad for the heart, says Eben. That is true. Oh, Bowden Barrett's been smacked in the face with that one. And also, has play stopped. It has at the moment. They are making a few substitutions at the moment. And also, why you jump catch like a back, says Golden Guest. Right, who is going on and who is going off the field? I would think Dave Parecki off for Falau Fainga'a if I had to guess. Is anyone coming on and off? Time back on. Do we just have a stoppage for no people going off the field? We did. Fair enough. And also we got their scrum, says Beach Bliss. And Lamape doesn't pass the ball, says Floyd Kingy. He doesn't, but at least he's willing to attack at the moment. And that is something that the ABs need. They need that flat line runner who's actually willing to take contact. And Quintapi's been doing it pretty well because pretty much all he does, it's such a simple aspect. You just cut inwards. You run hard at the line. Why is this on Thursday, says Jan? It is due to the NRL and AFL playoff games that we're going to be on at roughly the same time as this game. I would have thought it would have been easier to reschedule and have New Zealand's game this week, Australia's game next week, but they lit fireworks inside. So I think that shows a bit of the IQ. Now Matt Phillip, going to be now on the halfway line, gets it back to Jake Gordon. Bernard Foley puts it high. Nice take by Bowden Barrett, gives it off to Will Jordan. Now going for the kick down the middle of the park. It looks like Marika Kuramberi. Oh, he's dropped that one. Not what he would have been wanting. The referee says it's gone backwards. Well, that one now, Marika Kuramberi. Great low tackle made by Will Jordan. Straight on the ball. Samasoni Takiaho. It's got to be a penalty. He's still holding on to it. And the All Blacks get themselves the penalty. And Foster was obviously doing God's work in New Zealand. And also they have hot dogs at Subway now. They do. They've decided to add the dogs into Subway, which is interesting. Soon they'll have like pizza and all sorts, and it will just literally be a fast food restaurant for Subway with the option of eating fresh. As Rugby Union, it's the minor sport in Australia, says Thomas Luke. And also we have got there, hang in there, Aussie, you're doing good, says Spider Meek. Yeah, at this stage, if they do end up, I'd say if the All Blacks end up scoring now, they still aren't out of the woods. Australia have still got 30 minutes left on the clock, and they will certainly look to continue their attack. And also should have got a red for the knee joint attack. Intent was clear, as says Johnny. Yeah, it should have been. Now Samasoni Takio, brilliant work from the All Blacks. It's going to be dragged down. Is it similar to the Dalton Papali'i yellow card that we saw earlier on? Rieko Ioane breaks one tackle, but he's dragged down by Len Ikitau. The ball is hung on to it. That's going to be close to a yellow card for Tom Wright. Oh, Tom Wright could be in trouble. Note they're going to the bin for the initial one that did end up dragging down the breakdown. Tom Wright, very close to a second infringement there. And how long till the game ends? There's still another 30 minutes left on the clock. And rolling the ship, says Golden Guess. So this time it's going to be against Jake Gordon, who goes to the bin. And Samasoni man of the match so far, definitely. You're the number 9, says the ref. He should probably know. You are the number 9. He wants another look of it, Jake Gordon. He says that he wasn't the man who collapsed it. He's saying, are you sure it was me? That is going to be the 4th yellow card of this match now. Well, to be fair to Gordon there, I don't think he did much wrong. I think it was more of the case of he just got trampled. So a little bit unfortunate that his forwards weren't protecting him in that situation. And also we have got there, how many yellows does he want next to his name? And also we have got there, Australia cheating by grabbing the ball on the ground, yellow card, says John. It was close to another one possibly. And who got the card? It was Jake Gordon in the end. Probably a little bit unfortunate for that card. Fraser McWright here is now on the field. That is for Matt Phillip. So I would assume that Darcy Swain now will transition to number 5. And Matt Phillip will end up going off with McWright going to 7. Or so. Actually, no, they might have another wee reshuffle. But the All Blacks, they have made the change. It's George Bauer. And that is going to be for Ethan to group. Too many cards in rugby now. And how could there be no fish and chips during the contest, says Stang. It's a good question. I do love a good fish and chips. Oh, Satudu taken out early. That is going to be another advantage. It won't be enough to be cynical, but it is going to be a penalty nonetheless. Now Smith back to Barrett. Richie Mo'unga goes straight through, steps around Kurambeti and scores the try, goes over the top of him. And Richie Mo'unga doesn't manage to score the try. It's going to be another one for the All Blacks. They have extended the lead, but like I mentioned, a win here, or no, sorry, not a win here, but a try here does not secure anything for the ABs. Geordie Barrett straight back to Richie Mo'unga. Went through the tackle with Foley and then just drove straight over the top of Kurambeti and Len Ikatel. Not an easy thing to do. Definitely not when you're a fly half. Normally you do want someone with a bit more size, but Richie Mo'unga, he had the quick step and feet, drives himself over the line, does manage to score it again. Oh, game over, says Thomas Luke. I don't know yet. Still too close for comfort for the ABs. And also we've got the up to Sater, says Nathan, and also ditch the yellow and red card. It's stupid rules, says Spider Mick there. And great try, says Cooper Cronk. But Richie Mo'unga doing beautifully to get himself over the try line. And a couple men on the outside if he did decide to use them. And Mr. JJ used to watching. And nice, says Johnny there. But Richie Mo'unga now to line up the kick. He's got that one straight down the middle, and the score will become 24 points to 13. So only 11 points difference between these two sides. I would say one more try for the All Blacks and it's game over, maybe. But it's still not completely out of the woods for the Wallabies. 2 Tongans, 2 Fijians, and a Samoan walking to a bar. The barman says, well done on your selection for the All Blacks Rugby World Cup squad, lads. Says Ebenezer. That's a new one. And also we've got there, Caleb says a strike there. And also, yeah, try time Richie Mo'unga. And it's over for the Aussie, says Dominique. And anyone watching Richie Mo'unga cam, says Nathan. Have they got Richie Mo'unga cam? Well, this one, Nick White is coming on the field. That is for Len Ikatel. They've decided that they need a halfback, but Nick White also a very valuable option in their backline because they have got themselves, I guess, his cover of wing and also at 10 if they do need it. Also, 24 to 13. You are not live. Says, Bevan, my score here, 24 points to 13. You are probably a little bit ahead by about 30 seconds possibly from the fact that I'm watching on Sky Go, Bevan. One's gone out from New Zealand. Good kick downfield from Richie Mo'unga. Goes into the half of the Wallabies. And also we have got there too much class. Says Sweet as, and also what do you call Welshman in the World Cup final, Nigel Owens. Says Ebenezer. And also, yes, but they're going overboard with the card, says Cooper Cronk. And there is and I also go the All Blacks. Says Bevan, nicely taken by Darcy Swain. Now Fraser McWright breaks off the back, gives it off now to Rob Ballatini, wrestled down by Richie Mo'unga there. Good work from Dalton Papali, making it scrappy in the breakdown. Ball's gone high. It's going to be just outside of the 22. Beautifully taken by Caleb Clark. Almost through that tackle with Tom Wright. Now Aaron Smith, short ball to Scott Barrett. Runs straight. And Nick White 40 metres out from their own line. Bowden Barrett back across to Retallick, sold the dummy as if he was going wide, then decided to take the carry himself. Smith goes back to Bowden. That's a bit of a rough kick. He didn't get that one where he wanted it to. Oh, that's going to be actually not Marika Cotombetti's fault, because Will Jordan, if anyone to penalise there, it was Bernard Foley for sacrificing his teammate. But the referee has set play on. Now Aaron Smith goes back to Bowden Barrett. Richie Mo'unga wide ball out to Caleb Clark, trying to break through the tackle with Tom Rowe, who's once again done well, getting him around the bootlaces. The All Blacks moving up to halfway. Bauer has a good attack and run. Darcy Swain makes that tackle. Now back to Smith. Bowden with the little chip. Will Jordan's going to take it beautifully. He does the step. Will Jordan accelerating, and he's going to get another try for himself in an All Blacks kit. Him and Bowden Barrett linking up. Combination we don't really get to see too often in the centre kind of region of the field. And hey, mates, hello from sunny Johannesburg. Thanks for the great commentary. Go the AB, says Rishi. And also we have got there, hi Rishi. Says Prime Minister, and also Jordan, yes, says Ray Mantis. So it was Bowden Barrett initially who did a little chip in behind. The fact that Will Jordan got to it on the full, brilliant step around Andrew Callaway. I thought he was thinking about offloading it to Bowden Barrett initially, but instead ran it in, got the try. And the All Blacks, now you'd have to say, have got a very nice little bit of an advantage when it comes to the scoreboard of about 17 points. We'll go like that. And also game over. Can we watch Love Island together rather? Says Thomas. And ABs have come out clutch in the second half. And also the Bledisloe to stay in and Molesworth House. And also where there's a will, there's a way. And a really game over, says Julian there. And Will Jordan, try time, show me the money. Thank you, TAB, says John. Yeah, normally pretty safe money, Will Jordan. That's the first try that he scored in the Rugby Championship, though. And you'd have to wonder, is it because he's playing out on the right wing? And everyone would say, yep, more than likely, yes. Does the little fin, throw an homage back to his Tasman Marcos boys. Nick White just not quite able to get there. Marika Cotombetti unable to win the foot race thanks to the ref, or thanks to the ref, I think that is, championship on the platter. And 60 times indeed go the ABs. And also, no, you don't race boots, says over there. And Jordan is the man, best try scorer / X-Factor player for the AB, says Craig. And also, did I say New Zealand 42-18 at the start? It was something along those lines for yourself, sweet as. I will go back and have a look right at the end of the match and see how close you are. Quintapaya had to be the sacrificial lamb. Damn, says David. Yeah, unfortunately, it has cost him his kneecap at this point in time. I would like to see the New Zealand play footy. See how good they are then, says Dawn. They've been playing their whole life, born and bred. Very strong team, says Dawn. And also, I really should take the day off tomorrow, but I have too much work to do, real and YouTube work, says David Lim. And I have 45-10 for the ABs. Right, this is going to be an injury here for Alan Alatoa. I think Tyrell Lomax may have injured one of the Wallabies. Okay, this doesn't look good for Falau Fainga, only just making his way out onto the field. So you're right. What has happened here? So they say it's Tyrell Lomax. We're going to see what this is. And Nick's mustache has slowed him down. Okay, they are going upstairs for the team. Oh, it would be a shame for Lomax because he's actually had a relatively solid game up to this point, but sometimes his discipline does let him down. And is this going to be one of these cases? As a South African watching, this ref is handing out stupid yellow cards for nothing, because costing the Aussies officials, just spoiling the game week after week, says Andre. So Tyrell Lomax lifts. Okay, he's fallen on his back. So I think this is going to be probably a yellow card for Tyrell Lomax here. If they are consistent, like they're saying, he hasn't gone past the horizontal, but he has lifted, which does normally lead to a yellow card. Are we about to see our 5th yellow of this contest? And someone just banged on my window and yelled, "Eat that now," says Montix. That's a bit weird, I guess. Were they like your friend or something, or just a random? And also Lorax yellow, or Lomax. So they're saying he didn't go above. I mean for Lorax. Gotta love autocorrect. And Australia say to the Bledisloe, and South Africa say to the Rugby Championship, Rugby Championship and carnage on the field. Thank you from Turkey, doing a great commentary. Says Musketeer. And they're hugely appreciated. Fun fact, before our channel was called the Kiwi Lads, we were actually the Musketeers. There you go. Just a penalty for Lomax. And that one for Laufanga is going to be all right. That one easily could have been a yellow. But it does mean now that the Wallabies, with 3.5 minutes left of the yellow card, they are going to have another disadvantage for a little bit longer. And also, Swain, it would have been banned in the NFL for that, just saying. And the scoreboard is wrong, says Aussie guy. And there as well. So it is currently 31-13 for myself. Maybe it is a little bit further forward for yourself, Master Mel. I assume that you might have another try on the board, and Tyrell Lorax. It's not going to be okay, weird, says Obi. And now it's going to be nicely done by Dalton Papali, getting that ball back for the All Blacks. Also, do you know what that walk that Conor McGregor does? The $1 billion strut, I believe it is, isn't it? That one where he swings like that. Oh, bit of a push and shove from Brodie Retallick and Fraser McWright, getting heated out there on the park. I think both sides are getting fed up of how many players are getting injured and how many players are getting taken off the field. And WGF, I left for tea, and now the All Blacks are leading by a lot, says Wolf Song. Yeah, they had a very strong few minutes. Richie Mo'unga and Will Jordan both scoring within about 2 minutes of each other. And Earth to Master Mel, because he does not go meow. And also we have got there, and that's convenient. And they just subbed Lomax for null. Smart play, though. If he's getting a little bit hot-headed, maybe it is the best time to take him off of the field. But Brodie Retallick, he's had a pretty solid game for the All Blacks. Could have been in for a try earlier on. It's a 2-2. Decided he wanted to try and channel his inner Zinzan Brook. Went for the kick in behind. And oops, says Nathan. And there as well. But 58 minutes through currently. Let's have a fight. Give Nick White a smack, says Thomas Luke. I feel like Nick White's not a strategic one, though. He's actually just been put back onto the field, this time for Tom Wright, even though he was already out on the field. So I guess they have taken him off just to be safe for Tom Wright, seeing as he has already had the yellow. Now Hoskins a 2-2, breaking off the back. Good low tackle made on him by Fraser McWright. Aaron Smith recycles quickly to Scott Barrett, who's dragged down by, it was the number 12, Lalakai Fakiti. Now back to Richie Mo'unga. Sells the dummy, tries to go himself, tackled by Swain, round the chest. Back across, counter ruck from the Aussies. Hasn't quite worked out for them in that one. Now around the side. Like Fraser McWright trying to get in there, wasn't quite able to do so. Now back to Geordie Barrett going for the cross kick from inside of the own 22. It's worked out. It's gone straight to Caleb Clark. He's got Rieko Ioane with him. Oh, that was a terrible running line from Rieko Ioane. He's asking for the penalty for being tackled off the ball, but it is going to be the knock on. I think Rieko Ioane there, he had enough pace that he needed to get onto the outside, and he just didn't quite do so. But Caleb Clark, you'd have to say it was probably Clark and Rieko Ioane who both got that a little bit wrong. Both running a very similar line here. And like they're saying, both running into the same hole. Both about a metre apart from each other. And then, by the way, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Cheers for tuning in, says Sebastian. You heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the Kiwi Lad Sport. And if you do need a VPN to be able to watch these games, I highly recommend the one we have got in the pinned comment. You will be able to watch these games for free once you have got that VPN. And alongside that, you can also get yourself the World 7 series to watch and a whole heap of other sports on Stan Sport and all sorts. Be sure to check that one out. Hi, Kiwi Lads, back at it again from Krabi, Thailand, with a beautiful sunset and nice icy cold singer. All Blacks forever, says Bob. It's great to have you back, mate. It's going to be Falau Whainga'a throwing it in from 22 metres out now. Brodie Retallick's gone up in the middle. They didn't go to him. Instead, Darcy Swain does receive that ball now. Nick White looks like he's playing a little bit of a first receiver role. The moment counter ruck from Dalton Papali doesn't quite get in there. Bernard Foley now. He's found the offload to Andrew Kellaway, who's going to go in. And the defence parted like the Red Sea, and the All Blacks have conceded the try. Andrew Kellaway, he made sure he put it down that time. And the Wallabies slightly make their way back into the contest now. But Andrew Kellaway, what happens here? Who misses the tackle? Unfortunately, Hoskins Satutu just didn't look like he put in much of an effort there. Samisoni Takiaho made his tackle, but Satutu just gives him a half grab. Oh, it was flat. It was a bit flat, but we'll give it as a try just for now until proven otherwise. Although I have a feeling they'll probably check this just like they do. Okay, Sam Whitelock, he is not happy with that pass. And also, we're not so happy now. Hammy says Golden Guest, and also to try the Australian, says Bevan. Oh, no. Oh, they're saying it's good. Okay, that's good. So it is going to be now 20 points to 31. I was going to say, if the Wallabies have another disallowed try in this contest, going to certainly cause some problems. And also, Dale Hoskins, a bad defence from New Zealand, says Geordie Barrett. Wait, aren't you out on the field, Geordie? Shouldn't you be like paying attention to what's happening in the play rather than messaging on a YouTube chat? And also, why is Australia getting flogged? Says TSM, they're not a mile behind at the moment. 2 converted tries and they're back in the contest. Here we go, says Terry. And also, Connor cannot have an ice cream in his hand when he does as well because it will end up all over his backside, says Montix. I guess that is a very good point. That's gone out on the full from New Zealand. Mistake off kickoff. Richie Mo'unga puts up his hand and apologises. A defence slip up, says Sebastian. And it was a great tackle, Hoskins. And come on, the ABs get another try. And yeah, try woo. And I look forward to seeing the tears in your eyes, Soy, with your worthless taste of rug. Oh, no, that's the Cooper Croc. I was going to say, I thought we got along not too badly. Q. Now halfway, it's going to be the scrum feed for the Wallabies with 18 minutes left. And normally you just grab a Kiwi's mullet and they go down like a bag of potatoes. I mean, to be fair, England used Johnny Hill as a perfect example of that. If you grab Darcy Swains here, it fires him up just a little bit more. Although big push. So here's Golden Guest. Now Nick White about to feed this ball, and Jordan Patai must not be too far off from making his way onto the field. In fact, has he yet? No, not yet. They have left him out. That has gone down in the front rows. Another scrum reset. Still 17 minutes left and got to defend New Zealand for Foster's sake. A silly kick. But hey, it happens, says John. Yeah, just a little mistake off kickoff. "63 minutes through. I believe one of the commentators, their parents have had their 65th wedding anniversary. That is quite a large number. Respect the mullet, Eben. No pulling on it, please. And yes, sir. And also bring on Finley. Give Nugget a rest, says Ray Mantis. Yeah, I think Finley Christie, I think they'll bring him on at, I'm going to have a stab in the dark and say 68 minutes down is when they'll bring out Finley Christie. Exactly, well, not exactly 68. There's going to be a big push from the Wallabies. They want to take the quick tap, but he wasn't quite on the mark there. It's become a penalty for the second warning. And also Nick White, did I hear Nick the dive? Says Spider-Meek. And also, do the ABs have a bonus point, says Thomas Luke? Not at this current point in time. So far we have seen 2 tries from Australia, 4 from the All Blacks. So they need 1 more try. And then, of course, for the game to end, for them to have the winning bonus point, which I don't think will separate too much in the scheme of the Rugby Championship. It's more of the case of just really trying to knuckle down, get that points differential up, make sure they can hang on to the first. And also we have got to bring on Finley. My Nuggets getting cold, says Nathan there. And also good game, says if we're not Sevivo. Hopefully I've said that correctly, but I may have got that slightly wrong. Is it Sevivo? Is it a V or a W for that last one? Do let me know. Now, penalty against the All Blacks. Marika Korombeti looking for the wide cutout pass. He's found Jordan Patai, the elusive winger, making his way back out. He had a couple injury troubles throughout Super Rugby Pacific, back playing for the Reds, and now back in the Wallabies kit. Fraser McRae takes contact. Advantage still in favour of the Wallabies. Rob Valentini gets a nice inwards pass. Now back across one more time to Jed Holloway. Good tackle on him by George Bauer, and also it was Dalton Papali'i, and also the yacht at Krabi must be stuck on the sandbar, says Stephen there. It's going to be against Brody Retallick for closing the gap in the line out. Bernard Foley. Now I believe they want to continue going for the corner. They want to try and get themselves some extra points on the board. Deep breath taken by Bernard Foley, probably getting a little bit longer out there on the park than he would have been expecting for his first match back in a long time. Got to hit the 3, says Golden Guest. Although I guess with the 3 points, they would only put them 8 points behind. They do need some sort of tries from the All Blacks, 4 from the opposition visits of 5. Wallabies have scored 2 in their 6 visits to the 22 of the All Blacks. Aussie's backing themselves, says Ray Mantis. They certainly are. Now for Lau Whainga'a. Puts the ball in, nicely taken by Jed Holloway. Met by the All Blacks, rolling more defence. Now trying to creep forward. It looks like more creeping backwards at the moment. Sometimes you do have to go backwards to then go forwards. They've been told to use it once. Wallabies still trying to wrestle their way forward. It's going to be Nick White. Passes off to Lalakai Faketi. Now back across. Out to Andrew Kellaway. It's a 2-on-1. Bowden Barrett has to be lured in. Kellaway gets another. And the Wallabies back in. Oh, Kellaway's done his knee though. I think he might have cramp. He's got cramp, Kellaway, but he's got another one. And now just 6 points difference between these two sides. The Bledisloe Cup is heating up at the moment. 66 minutes through that contest, and they have been able to get themselves another. He could have had his hat-trick, Andrew Kellaway, but didn't go wrong for him. And it's a game of 80 now, and come on Australia, except for Nicole White. We need to execute a Kellaway again and closing the gap. Game's getting interesting. It certainly is. The Wallabies would have been down and out only about 15 minutes ago, but they've fought back brilliantly. Kellaway ate the grass real hard there and also did a hammy or a quad in the process. Needed to stretch it out, and also 35 to 30 or 25 to 31. And then, yes, Aussie says Sakabula. There's the full sides back on after the yellows. I believe both sides are now sitting back to 15. The Wallabies, they have been unleashing some of their bench. I'll just have a quick look through, show you guys exactly who is still yet to come off the benches. So for Australia, I don't believe Scott Seo is out there, sorry. Ponef Amasuli is yet to make his way out there. And then Reece Hodge is the only other Wallabies player who is not out there on the park as we currently speak. Now that one's going to be kicked over. Nicely done by Bernard Foley, closing the gap a little bit more, and 4 points difference between these two sides for Bledisloe Cup. Test number 1, New Zealand. They have still got Dane Coles yet to come off the bench, although I don't believe they will, because at the end of the day, Samasoni Takiaho has been absolutely brilliant. Kiriawani has not peeked through, and Finlay Christie, the other player who has yet to make his way out onto the field. But I did say Finlay Christie, they'll bring him on at 68 minutes. Okay, they've taken Satutu off the field. They've also got Dane Coles out there. I'm looking through for Finlay Christie. I do not see him as of yet, though. Big shot from Will Jordan. No, Aaron Smith's still out there on the field. And also we have got there, bring on the bomb squad. And also we have got Bisbar and Karabi, cool chicks, and none of your favourite lady boy, says Bob. It's going to be kicked downfield. Dave Rennie, he will feel that this game is right in their grasp. Eden Park draw still on the cards, and we need Finlay Christie, says Xavier there, and New Zealand need to be the next scoring team. They certainly do. Chances of them getting a bonus point has been well and truly taken away by the Australians currently. They would need 2 more tries. Last 5 tries, we did see 3 from the All Blacks, the early stage of the half, and then 2 more from the Wallabies. Risky pass from Aaron Smith, but it did work out very nicely to Geordie Barrett, who is now playing 12 for this contest. And both Ioane brothers are on. As David, they certainly are. Now Aaron Smith goes back to Dane Coles, decides he wants to pierce the gap himself. Wrestled down by McWright and Darcy Swain. Now Smith, Fletcher Knoll with the inside pass. It's going to be an offside advantage against Darcy Swain. Now Geordie Barrett might be receiving this one relatively soon. Kiriawani instead, in fact, cutting back inwards 40 metres now. And they will be going back for the initial penalty for offside. Let's go, AB, says Royal, and also Yo says Shadow Ninja Ghost. And also do it for the Block Australia, says Thomas. And high scoring game, says Cooper Cronk. Exactly right. Right. Richie Moonga might consider taking on the 3 points here. And also when the All Blacks score, I'm usually breaking something, says Master Mal. And we got the pen, says Ray Mantis. Right. 10 minutes left on the clock. Once again, Darcy Swain penalised. Richie Moonga. Important kick here. And All Blacks need a penalty kick and a droppy to ice it, says the Chief. And it's straight out in front, says David Lim. Although still a little bit of distance. On about 43 metres out, I would say this kick is going to be. Still 10 minutes left. I think I'm almost going to have to change the time that my post-match review is happening again. What we're going to do is we're going to set it for midnight. There we go. We will set it for midnight for the post-match review. It gives us a little bit of time in between the live streams. Richie Moonga about to line up this kick. 5 out of 6 for his kicking percentage. He's certainly been looking strong. And you're Richie. And getting the SS by to make an R sweep. Says Sakabula. And Aaron Thomas is begging for a miss here. 9 minutes to play. A high pressure kick for Moonga. Straight down the middle. And it's beautifully struck by Richie Mo'unga, now making the score difference 7 points. We could see a draw here, ladies and gentlemen. I mentioned it near the start of the match that if it was a draw, it would come right down to the wire for these two sides in the Bledisloe Cup. And he won't miss, says Obi, and easy money. A beautiful brother, says Ray Mantis, and thought Geordie or Jordan might have talent this. Or have talent his. Taken this, is it? Maybe. No, Richie, it's in his distance. He has been striking them absolutely beautifully throughout the Rugby Championship. Good run from Caleb Clark. Moving up for Valetini. Taken down in the breakdown by Akira Ioane. Now back across the All Blacks. Just outside of their 22. Taken back to Richie Mo'unga, who puts it high. Will Jordan's keen. Marika Korompiri blocks him big time, but they're going to say it's fine. You know what? Fair play to Will Jordan there. He easily could have thrown his hands up and gone, that's a penalty. Instead, just got on with the game. Something I think we need a little bit more. Whether or not it was a penalty is a different story, but there's now going to be Scott Seo having a carry forward. Nick White goes back to Lena Katau, Marika Korompiri. Ball on the outside. Missed the tackle there for Will Jordan. Now Marika gives it back on the outside. Samu scores, and it's going to be the try for the Wallabies. They are back in it once again. Every time New Zealand think they've got this game in the bag, the Wallabies just dig a little deeper. That is going to be another one. Marika Korompiri, brilliant work from him to be able to break that line. Pete Samu, though, it was nice work there. Unfortunately for Will Jordan, missing that tackle. That then meant that it was open on the outside. Samu gets the 1-2 from Marika, and not in the punching department, I should mention, and that is going to be another try for the Wallabies. This game is going down to the absolute wire. We have seen 66 points at this point of time in this contest. And I don't think either side have finished. And what a game, says Sebastian. And I was like, bro, says Jamie O'Wall, says Royal. Now, this is a kick to make it even. And also, we have got there in the chat for the Wallabies. And also, Korompiri has been damn good tonight, says David on drop kick, says Obi. And well, says Golden Guest. I wonder when they decide to give Reece Hodge the chance to get back out onto the field. Now, Reece Hodge in the past has had some struggles in match-winning scenarios, but Bernard Foley now with this kick just about to take place. And vital kick here, exactly right. This will make it even Stevens at 34. I even started saying that. And also, we have got thank God I'm watching as a neutral. I'm too nerve-wracking supporting one of those sides, says Sebastian. Wallabies, though, with Bernard Foley. Strikes it. He's got it. And it's going to be 34-34. And also, Finley Christie, I do see, has made his way out onto the park. This man's hooking is good, says Golden Guest, and got work in the morning effort. This is too important, says Ray Mantis. Currently almost midnight here in New Zealand. Now, there's no golden point, I should mention. A draw is a draw, and it would mean that the Bledisloe Cup is all up for grabs. Marika Korompiri gives it a good boot. Downfield, nicely taken by Bowden Barrett. Back across to Richie Mo'unga. Now Caleb Clark now in the midfield. Starting to try and look for it. Looks like Rob Valetini trying to rip that ball away. Isn't able to. Finley Christie back to Mo'unga. Going for the 50-22. It's going to be close to over the head. Brilliantly taken by Bernard Foley, though. And now he will be able to take all of the time in the world to kick this one downfield and to touch New Zealand better against their team. Says Wilson's there. Defence and discipline will win the game. And Eden Park, sudden decider. And then it's all square. Would you look at that? Cited. And also we have got there Richie for the droppy, I do see. A bit earlier on. And Christie should be on earlier, says Cooper Gronk. And that's a high tackle, says David Lim. About to be thrown in by Dane Coles. And no one's scared of the ABs anymore, says Ken. And arms wrapped around Caleb's neck. Says David Lim. Right, Finley Christie calls it. On the line. For the green and gold of the Wallabies. Thrown in. Almost stolen, but Whitelock takes it nicely. Now Richie Mo'unga goes off to Dalton Papali'i. Currently on the halfway line. Rob Valetini. Rob Valetini's got it. And this could be a massive moment. Do you bring on Reece Hodge now for a 50-metre kick? I don't think Bernard Foley has the distance to be able to get this one. And also Thursday night footy, baby. And then also right from a block point of view, ref can call the game. Or the power can go out, says Sam. And that was a great job, boys, says Ryan and Fozzie for a Prime Minister. And All Black says Wyatt. Rob Valetini, though, gets in there. Fraser McWright, he got in early. WTF, says Floyd. And great job, boys, says Ryan Strong Structure. Right, this is one. They're going to give it to Nick White to have the kick. 48 metres out. And Nick White wants to redeem himself after what happened a couple weeks ago up against the Springboks. I have no idea why Reece Hodge isn't on the field yet. 50-metre kick, let's go. And did Rob score? He did not. He did win the penalty, a crucial penalty. That's the kind of match everyone wants to see. It's just a shame it's on a Thursday night, I think. Like if this was on a Saturday or a Sunday, everyone would be going absolutely crazy, which they already are for this one. And blown a 31-13 lead, says Brent. And also Nick White, says David. And then 48-metre kick. This guy has got the distance, though. Don't get me wrong. Nick White can strike him when he needs to. Can he strike him in a game where it is all on the line? 3 minutes left on the clock. Nick White steps up to the plate from 48 out. It's as straight as an arrow. And he's got it. And the Wallabies are going to take the lead. 37 points to 34. What a brilliant kick. Is Reece Hodge even on the sideline? Is he like gone away to the bathroom or something? It doesn't seem like he's going to get any of the game. And also, we have got I'm about to wake the whole house up, says Ray Mantis, the All Blacks being vulnerable like this. Good news for France and Ireland, says John Nettling. And also, as Nicholas taking the kick, he certainly is, and he kicked it from 50. And best match of the tournament, says Madman Magic. Now, the Wallabies have got this ball once again. It's a penalty to the All Blacks, so they'll probably kick a 3 now and take it back. Unless they go for the corner and try and get the win. Ponat Farmasili has been penalised there for leaving his feet. They're kicking for the corner. The All Blacks want the win here. This is a crucial line-out. No pressure, Dane Coles. But this one is for maybe a chance at retaining the Bledisloe. What a game. Damn ref trying to rub us. No, boys, WF All Blacks. Please draw, says Roloff. Now, this is one of the most important line-outs I think Dane Coles will have in this year's. He's gone in. It's taken at the back by Scott Barrett. And the All Blacks start to march forward. It's going sideways. Breaking off now. Where is the ball? It's still in the breakdown. The Wallabies on it. They win the penalty. And now the Bledisloe could still be alive for Australia as they head to Eden Park. An update score, says Terrence. And also we have got that is the score at the moment. And also we have got their guts, says Cooper Cronk. Also what a kick. Australia is in front 3 minutes ago. Now the Wallabies, they've got plenty of time. They've got 1 minute 13 here to hang on to this ball and then retain their line out, kick it into touch and say thanks very much for coming. But it was recycled out to Dane Coles. It went down and straight on it like for Ketty. It's very low. He's done well, keeping that body position just off the turf. In Australia, Bernard Foley. It's a scrum for the All Blacks because Bernard Foley took too long. Hang on. It's a scrum for the All Blacks. Bernard Foley, time-wasting free kick against him. If we haven't seen anything, I don't know what's going on. And that's BS, says Ryan. Was it the full minute? You are allowed a minute. They were told about 3 times to use it. The Wallabies refused, and they used up too much time. I switch on the time. You play now. Nick White's disappointed. That may have just cost them the game. And also, are there 2 games in the Bledisloe? There are indeed. He took too long for what? So pretty much because it was in the regular play, the time was back on. They had to kick it for touch. Callaway was telling him. Fekete was telling him. Bernard Foley wouldn't kick it. Fekete was furious. And he is yelling big time. He knew that that was the moment for the Wallabies that may have just cost them the whole contest and maybe the Bledisloe Cup as well. 30 seconds left. Welcome back, Bernard Foley. You may become the most hated man in Australia. Nick White's out there on the field, although he's only hated in South Africa, in fact. So he's all right otherwise. Finlay Christie about to feed the ball in. This could be a massive moment in the Rugby Championship. It's going to be a Kiriwani. Picks the ball up, breaks off the back, trying to go through. The Wallabies just swarming the breakdown. Fraser McWright. He's left his feet. Finlay Christie tells them to go to the left. Can the Wallabies get that last-minute penalty? The siren has sounded. All they need is the ball. If they kick it into touch, they win this first test match. It's another advantage, so it's a draw at the bare minimum for the ABs. But Scott Barrett's going to continue going. The All Blacks, they want the full 7. I'm sorry, but if you're Australia, do you cynically try and stop this so that they don't get over the line, although it would be a penalty try if that was the case. New Zealand 1 metre short. Bodies just lying everywhere. Retallick sees the ball. He sees the line. Rico plays half. Goes back to Mwanga. One more to Will Jordan. Steps through. Finds the offload to Barra. That's the game. And the All Blacks have stolen it in the 80th. And that is going to be a match-winning sequence. And they've retained the Bledisloe just like that. All because of Bernard Foley not taking that kick. That is heartbreaking for the Wallabies, and Marvel Stadium will not quite be able to believe what they've seen. I feel for Fekete, man. He was begging Bernard Foley to kick that ball into touch. He just wouldn't do it. And the All Blacks have won this game. What a game of rugby we have just seen. A lot of people have called it the best game of the Bledisloe Cup, the best game of the Rugby Championship. My voice is going to be going. I can't believe it. The Wallabies, they were awarded the scrum for the All Blacks, that is, for time wasting. And then from there, Nick White, I think they just said that the referee was getting yelled at saying, "You cost us the Rugby Championship." What a moment in there. The chat has gone nuts. I don't think I'm going to be able to read every single message. I do apologize for that. Now Nick White still asking the referee for forgiveness. Or not forgiveness. He wants the referee to take it back. But I don't think he can take it back now. Foley, man of the match. Yeah. The referee is going to get booed as he leaves the field of play. I guess the thing is, they're going to have to look at that. Was it the full time that is allowed? You are allowed a minute for a goal kick. I believe for a kick for touch or anything like that, when the time is back on, it may be 30 seconds. Bernard Foley, I said his name very weird. He just cost them. But now Quinta Byer in a leg brace. Sam Cane concussed. Harvelli concussed. And F off Nick. You waste the time blaming the ref for that. Says Wolf Song, and also another 22 years funeral. Says Samedi and OMG, what happened, guys? Says Julian, a comeback of dreams was opening up for the Wallabies, but one moment that just pretty much determined the whole Bledisloe Cup. Because at worst, New Zealand are retaining because of a drawn series. That's why I wish it was still 3 matches. I feel like anything less than 3 matches just doesn't feel like the Bledisloe. I was like, how, says Royal. And then match fixing, says Willem. And well done, Yo-Yo, says Terry. Yeah, we are the Yo-Yos at the moment, I guess you could say, for the All Blacks. Up and down, up and down, up and down at this stage. And one for the books, Kashiev. And also, we have got there, thank you, refs, number 1 guy, says Nathan, I feel bad for the Aussies, to be fair. I do too. A lot of those Wallabies players put everything into this game. You look at someone like a Rob Bellatini, a Pete Samu, he was working extremely hard. Andrew Callaway, Lalakai Fekete. And then there's just that one moment that changes history for the Wallabies. Unfortunately, this was one of their best chances of going in to Auckland with a 1-0 lead. And New Zealand too good for Aussies. I don't know about that. I think Australia, you'd have to say, with everything that happened in this game, I mean, the Wallabies could have been the better side out there on the park. And New Zealand are in a bad place. Says Aheri there. And well, looks like Foley is back to retirement, says Richard. And Bledisloe staying, baby, says John. And also they went for the try instead of the kick. They did. And it almost cost them. They won the penalty for the Wallabies. But then it did end up going wrong when they took too long to kick that one into touch. And Lalakai Fekete, you could see the amount of aggression. He was shouting at Bernard Foley. Andrew Callaway was joining in as well. Are they reviewing it, says Nissan. They haven't at this stage. The game has gone to the All Blacks, but that will certainly be a moment that a lot of people look at for a long time. And also, Aussies can't cheat like cricket. Says Obi in there. And also, I agree with you, Hamish. Wallaby played better than the AB, says Nathan. But now what we are going to be doing as we are popping over to our post-match review, ladies and gentlemen, we will be delaying it by about 5 minutes just because this game did run a lot longer. There were a lot of decisions that took up a bit of time. And as Freddie Fender would say, all over Red Rover, and I'm in shock. Wallabies deserve the win, says Rugby Itch, and also what was Foley thinking, says the Puna here. Just, that's the thing. That kind of play, or that kind of moment, is normally what you see from a young player. A player 20 years of age who hasn't been there, done that. Foley's been at World Cups. He's had so many opportunities. He should have known by the time the referee warned him the third time, you can't get away with going to a fourth. And that's the sad reality. That all he needed to do, kick that ball into touch, walk up to the line out, take it, couple phases, you put the ball into touch, and you go into the Bledisloe Cup second match 1-0 up. And I was like, can you believe it, says Floyd? Not really, no. I think this game was one that would have had a lot of people on the edge of their seats, a lot of people swearing at their TV. And I was like, give the ref a mask so he can get home. Says Tux, yeah, the refereeing was not good in this game. And I think there were decisions that went against both sides. But I think, there's a couple interesting ones that we are actually going to be breaking down on the post-match review. And also, congratulations, says Michelle, and shocking ref as usual, says Mitch. And Aussie, don't cry. Go eat some pies, says Richard in there. And this is a disgrace, says Willem. And there, yeah, and I guess for you guys from South Africa, I know that you definitely wanted to see Australia win that one, so you had a better chance of getting through and winning the Rugby Championship. But now, I guess all the pressure's on South Africa. They need to beat Argentina. If they do that, there is still a chance that the Rugby Championship could be going the way of the South Africans. In fact, if Argentina win, there's still a way that they can win the Rugby Championship. It is all on the line for next. And I'll say, how does it feel to be bad? Aussie says, Jack, I wouldn't call it bad at all. I think they outplayed the All Blacks out there on the park. Robots make officiate mistakes, says Yanni. And also, we have got there in the chat, this is not a good New Zealand side, and I'm getting so, like many Kiwis, fed up with inconsistency in them. And also, how can you waste time when time is off? Says Guy, the referee turned time back on. So he warned him 3 times that he had turned the time back on, so he had to use it. And then from there, that is when the penalty went against Bernard Folio. In fact, the free kick. So, yeah, it's going to be one that I watch quite a few times over. And whoever pays the salary should fire him and resign himself. In shame, says Zevin and New Zealand. So if they're going forward, it's only papered through the cracks. And also, mate, you've done all fair commentary, mate, says the Puna in there. I do appreciate that a lot. Yeah, as much of a hectic game as this was, we always try and call it straight down the middle, as you guys know. And now we have got a post-match review that we are going to be doing on the channel as well. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you do need a VPN to be able to watch that game between South Africa and also Argentina, we have got the link there in the pinned comment. Be sure to check that out. Use our affiliate link, as it is going to be a very handy one. It gets you 3 extra months free. And our bonus point in this match. So the Wallabies do get themselves the bonus point, but it will be New Zealand who take out the 4. I'm going to watch that one. Going to give it a good opinion at the moment, says Chalk Up. Yeah, I think we're going to have to rewatch that game again. Who knows? Maybe we do it on the Saturday. If you guys are keen for a watch along in the evening, we could end up doing it. Looking through, breaking down everything that we thought may have gone wrong for both sides. I feel like it would be quite a fun analysis to be able to do. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, like I mentioned, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Check out the Kiwi Lad Sport. The link is in Sebastian's one there as well. And yeah, we will see you all in a couple minutes for our post-match review.